Okay, we are here. Good morning, all of you from around the world who are watching this channel, this old man talking about the stock markets. It's your buddy Uncle Bruce here on Stock Markets with Bruce, the YouTube channel, the sensation. Thank you for joining me today, April the 28th, Thursday. You thought Beatlemania was unbelievable. Oh, it's Uncle Bruce Mania. It's incredible. We're about to go on the road with this too. I tell you right now, we're about to conquer Europe. I'm all jacked up, ready to go here. You thought the Beatles coming to New York was a big deal in 1964. That's chump change. Jen and I are heading to London, Amsterdam, Germany, Switzerland. We're taking over the continent. We're the craze. There's going to have to be crowd control. Bottom line, there's going to have to be crowd control because the mania is about to take off. And I'm just warning you right now. Oh no. He's delusional. He's lost it. What can I say? Welcome everybody to the show this morning. I hope you had a good night. It is Thursday. There is stuff going on as usual. Man, oh man, I tell you, so many people, their lives are all around, spring, and their entire focus is all around. Can I go golfing soon? Can I, I'm going to have to go out in the yard. I'm going to have to work on the garden, and it's okay. It's all good. Whatever works for you and is your life's passion, knock yourself out. But boy, is there a lot of stuff going on out there that some of you have to be aware of. And I guess that's the point. If you're here with me, you are trying to figure out how to make money in this stock market. And if you're going to be serious about making money in the market, you had better be up to speed on what the heck is going on and what it means to the markets, because markets trade on anticipation of future events, whether it's economic growth or shrinkage, or whether it's conflicts, Ukraine, Russia, whether it's weather, or whether it's interest rates, inflation. There's a million things to worry about. Now, this morning, the talk that is dominating some of the universe of investing, the talk that is really is up there has to do with, of all places, Japan. I mean, what the hey, man? It's Japan this morning, and how the yen is dropping in value against the US dollar. Major droppage of value. The yen was just not very long ago. You could buy 120 yen with a US dollar. Now you can get 130 yen with the US dollar. There's talk that it might go to 150. This would be a massive depreciation of that currency against the US dollar. Absolutely massive. And what it means is difficult for many people to get. They don't quite understand it, because the reality is that the Japanese economy is one of the 5 biggest in the world. It will shake up Asia big time. It will shake up Europe big time, and the Americas, because Japan is a world leader and an expert in international trade. I mean, Japan goods are everywhere. And we do a lot of business with Japan here in Canada, same in the US and Europe. And if their currency is going to continue to falter and ultimately drop by 20 or 30% against the US dollar, that means all Japanese imports are plummeting in cost, lowering inflation problems for Americans, by the way, which is a good thing, funny enough. But bad news means American-made products going into Japan are way more expensive. And that could hold off Japanese buyers of imported goods from wherever it comes from, coming from Europe, coming from Canada, the US, South America, Africa, and Asia countries. China is not ignoring this. China is watching this with great concern. This is not good news. The Chinese do not need a weak yen to upset their apple cart, because their situation is they're looking for a weak yuan, their national currency, to drop in value. So Chinese goods are cheaper around the world and imports are more expensive, holding off that. And again, this being amplified everywhere else. Look at the British pound this morning and the euro. My God, I'm telling you, we are going to take over Europe. No question about it. Jen and I are going to be rich. We're going to get into Britain, and instead of getting to the UK with a UK exchange rate of 135, the 140 that we were looking at 6 months ago, we're looking at UK pound sterling right now at like 124, and it might reach 120. They're talking about this is incredible. The euro is at 105 right now, and the rumor is that it might reach parity with the American dollar. Parity, so that you can land in Frankfurt and exchange euros for dollars 1 for 1. This was a 140 currency not too long ago. The euro 140. It's now going down to par. The pound going from 140 whatever down to 120-ish. This is huge. This is really huge. Again, their exports to us will be way cheaper. Our exports to them will be much higher for them. That's bad news for us economically on the one hand because of exports. It's good news for us because we are insatiable buyers of stuff. We love stuff. We love Benzes and Volkswagens and Beamers. We love Nikon, Canon cameras. We love Nikon products. We love anything made overseas. Apple is going, this is great. If we can get these made, that's the only catch. We can get these made in China and imported into the United States for 10% less. Our net cost, our profits will soar because we're not going to cut prices to Americans. They're saps. They're idiots. American consumers are morons. They will buy this thing for $1,150. We don't have to cut the price. We're going to just we're going to keep the prices nice and high to our American stiffs and cash in. You think that this sweatshirt that you can go to Walmart for or wherever you can buy, forget the logo, just a sweatshirt. You think sweatshirts are going to be any cheaper anywhere else in the United States? Think again. They're going to be just as expensive as they are now because your fellow Americans are greedy people and they're going to jack you guys big time. And this is where the American consumer has the ultimate weapon of keeping everything equal. They hold off on purchases. Americans back off and go, wait a minute. Inflation is 8%, they say. Rates are going up. Interest rates are going up, they say. And yet our dollar is at a strongest level ever. And to bring stuff in here costs me just as much money. Who's ripping me off? Is it the Chinese guy ripping me off? No, it's not the Chinese guy. It's the American importer that's ripping me off. That's who's doing it. And that's when Americans get creative. They buy direct from overseas suppliers or they hold off for a while and let importers get uncomfortable. The neck starts to get a little tight here. They loosen their tie a little bit again, and then they lower their prices because they've had lower prices come to them. They're now going to lower prices to you. It all equals out in the end, believe me. But there are sometimes some discrepancies that go along. There is such a demand for merchandise from Canadians and Americans and other G countries. We consumers, those of us who have been very patient, who have been very loyal to our country, we got our shots. We did everything we were told. We worked from home. We kept our kids from getting sick by trying to isolate them. And, we homeschooled them or we remote schooled them. And, we tried to limit interactions with other people. We did everything right. We are looking for a payback. And one of those paybacks, a number of them, one of them is traveling. Another one is consumerism, acquiring stuff we've been holding off acquiring. And that might be a new car. That might be a new bed. It might be a new TV. It might be a trip overseas somewhere. Whatever it is, we're looking for payback. We're looking for something to let us exhale finally and say, we're kind of way more back to normal right now. Isn't this good stuff? But we're also wary of events all around us. We many of us, most of us, do not walk around like this and listen to leaders that only want us to look at their picture and their viewpoint and follow their line. Where there's few of us who do that. We know some of those folks in our family who do that. We all have them in our families, but most of us are like this. And if you're an option writer, you definitely have no blinders on. You are wide open to anything coming from anywhere at any time, because you have figured out very quickly that there are times where you can write option contracts, and there are times you have to be careful about writing option contracts, or let a stock do what it wants to do before you write option contracts. Today might be one of those days. Today, we are going to open, from what I can see here, higher than yesterday's close. We're going to open up stronger this morning than we've opened up in quite a while. And maybe it's overdue because we've had quite a bit of selling coming into this market for a bit. And we've had an 800-point drop one day and then a 200-300-point gain the next day. But we haven't had a big run up, for a few weeks now, and we've been kind of going negative for a while. So here we are this morning with a 204 gain on the Dow Jones at the moment for the pre-market. I'm showing S&P up 49 points, and I've got NASDAQ up 218. Now, in percentage terms, the NASDAQ is up 1.68%. That is a very strong opening today. We've got S&P up 1.1%. Very good. The Dow is only up 0.57. So even though the Dow is showing a 189 to 200 point gain right now, it really would be closer to 550 points gain if we were equaling the NASDAQ. So there's that kind of power coming into the market right now. There is a surge of buying coming in. But I will caution you all. You're going to see a lot of stocks go up in price this morning to start the day. Here's the bad news. The sustained buying will not be on all stocks. The sustained buying could be only limited to the top 10 names in the NASDAQ 100, the Dow 30, the top 15 stocks, maybe on the S&P, the top 30. We're going to see a lot of money coming into basically Facebook, Meta, whatever they call themselves now, Microsoft, possibly some Apple buying, because tonight they come out with earnings and people are optimistic that the numbers are going to be all right. And there's always that, because the stocks would beat up a bit. There's buying coming in on Amazon likely. We'll watch for that. And other high cap companies of that nature. The guys who buy back their stock all the time are the ones that the investment managers out there are going to pour millions of dollars into potentially. But here's the catch. I believe after it's all said and done, it's a dead cat bounce. This is not the recovery of the market to all-time record highs in 3 months from now or a month from now. That is not on the table in any way, shape, or form. We are getting today a pop in the market because we've got bargains out there, perceived bargains. Earnings have come out and people like what they see. We even see Twitter this morning with higher numbers from before, but even so, Twitter pre-market is only up 22 cents to 48.86. I have a suspicion that the market may have a good day today and could have a good opening tomorrow morning, possibly. But by noontime tomorrow, Friday, option expiry day, it could all be over. Or the other scenario is we have a very good opening this morning that is a fireworks show. It's spectacular. Look at the colors and all the designs of the fireworks. And an hour later, it's all over. And we may well begin the decline yet again. It's a dead cat bounce, in my humble opinion, not the turnaround of the market, because too many forces are against this market and they're piling on top of each other, layering on, and it's getting more uncomfortable economically. All right. I have a feeling that the American dollar is rising nicely, but that's going to cost Americans export potential. We've got inflation rising with some moderation here and there, but there's going to be more inflation coming into this market because of the China problem. Interest rates will go higher. There's no doubt about that. The rates will be lifted. And the question now is, where will the Fed stop when they move it up? And that game hasn't even begun yet because they are just starting to raise the rates. We might get emergency interest rate rises in the next week or two from other countries. We may find that the Bank of Canada won't wait until their next meeting in July or June or whatever it's coming. They might just raise rates this week right away, another half a point. It might be that Britain does the same thing. It's possible the ECB begins to lessen its selling of bonds and starts, or instead of buying bonds, starts to sell bonds. We'll find out what countries really want inflation more prevalent, like Japan does, and which countries are going to try to nail it back. Germany this morning released their inflation report. Disaster, 7.5% inflation in Germany, way out of forecast, way above targets. That's not a good thing. Interest rates in Germany had been negative interest rates to spur economic activity. And now Germany has an inflation problem. But Germans are pragmatic enough to understand that, yeah, we have inflation. Yeah, oh, sure, we have inflation. But it's not Germany causing inflation. It's not because we have negative interest rates that we have inflation. And it's not because Germans are trying to buy a second car and every German wants to borrow hundreds of thousands of euros to buy new homes. That isn't the problem. We've been trying to get the Germans to do this here in Germany. No, the problem Germany is having is the problem we're having. Inflation is imported. It's an import problem. It's coming from supply chain logistical problems. And that is, generally speaking, out of the Orient, because that's where most of our imports come from, because we are all addicted to Asia-made product. And so Japan is sort of saying, yeah, we have inflation, but we're going to allow it to happen. We're not going to sabotage our own economy to fight inflation that is caused by a virus. We can't win that game. The Federal Reserve of the United States is completely on the opposite side of that argument. The United States is saying we're going to raise rates because Americans are causing inflation, which is bunk. Americans are not creating inflation. Americans out there are seeking higher pay raises because they have been abused for the last 25 years by their bosses, and they've been undercut for 2 decades with increased cutbacks on benefits. Union contracts have been decimated the last 20 years. Unions have been crushed the last 20 years. States have made it near impossible for some companies to even have unions formed, the so-called right-to-work states. And workers, which are voters, the politicians keep forgetting that workers are voters, have been absolutely humbled and crushed into nothingness, while corporate America has been thriving on all the beneficial legislation that's come their way and massive tax cuts for corporate America and well-to-do Americans. The bottom rung of the American economy, 150 to 200 million Americans, are fed up and have had enough. And the good news is that a lot of them have figured out, you know what, if I quit my job at this schmuck company over here and look around elsewhere, I can get a better paying gig. And a number of the 200 plus million Americans out there are figuring out, I don't even have to go out of my house anymore to make money. I used to have to take a brown paper bag with me every day with my lunch in it to go and make a living. I don't have to do this anymore. I can work from my house. And I am getting a multiple number of employers offering me money to work from here for them. It's been an amazing turnaround. Truckers in America. Love the truckers. Truckers in America are finally getting their due. The trucking industry has been short drivers for a decade. But even with that, truckers were not getting the fair shake that they deserved until just in the last 2 years, when it finally hit like a Will Smith dope slap, finally hit the management of trucking companies and shippers around the world. Oh my God, these guys and girls who drive these giant rigs are saviors for our economy. They're the kids who get the goods from the ports to our distribution centers, and from our distribution centers to the stores, which means goods show up on the shelf. And when you're in the middle of a pandemic, boy, do you appreciate supply chain logistics working out. How many of us went to our grocery store in the last 2 years and noticed thin shelves here and there? We didn't notice necessarily empty shelves because they're very crafty at rearranging the merchandise to make it look full. But you look behind the couple of jars of peanut butter over there and you notice there's empty shelves behind there. There used to be 40 little bottles or jars of peanut butter. There are 5. There are 20. Same with jams and jellies and spaghetti sauce and everything else. We figured out very quickly that our grocery stores are thin. They are not bursting at the seams with merchandise. You've ever noticed if you go down up and down aisles of your grocery stores that you do not see pallet loads of cans of soup and all the other stuff that's on a pallet sale or on a big volume sale? There are no big volume sales. They don't have volume. They're having trouble stocking their stores. Truckers have finally been recognized as a key component to the US and Canadian economy. And now, with a shortage of at least 100,000 of them, pay rates are going up for truckers. Finally, it's about bloody time. But many other Americans and Canadians are in exactly the same boat. Those who are the McDonald's workers, the dishwashers at restaurants, delivery drivers, those of us who call ourselves grunts are finally getting their due to make an honest, bloody wage, which used to be paid in the 50s and the 60s. That even grunts in the 60s had a livable wage. Not that people were rich in the 60s who were in the lower middle class, far from it. But they had a better, fairer shake than they have now. There are Americans out there who pray to God they don't slip and fall and break their elbow. Because they know if they fall and shatter their elbow, they are financially ruined forever. And there are middle-class Americans who know that if they need a shoulder operation and they have to pay for it, they have to mortgage their house in order to do it. There are still too many Americans at risk for that kind of economic disaster. But in the middle class, lower middle class world, workers have finally got their due, and it's about time. And yet, they're being blamed by the Federal Reserve as the problem. And that is where the Fed Reserve is out of touch with the reality of the world's economy. They are blaming their own people. American bankers are blaming Americans for the inflation problem, which is not an American-made issue whatsoever. Americans are reacting to the inflation problem. They are not creating the inflation problem. And by saddling Americans with higher interest costs and by bludgeoning down the middle class and holding them back, the Federal Reserve actually thinks it's going to tame inflation. What it's going to create is a massive recession in the United States because, yes, the higher interest rates will hold back Americans' plans to spend money on goods that they would really like to have, because now the middle class and lower middle class, they will spend their money on the necessities of existing and getting by. They won't be buying the new refrigerator or the new washer dryer or the new car. And now guess what happens? The layoffs begin at these factories that had all of these orders for all this merchandise that all of a sudden are evaporating, slowing up. That is what's going to start to happen. Companies are going to notice that the order book, the back order book, is getting thinner and thinner. And the bankers are going to say, oh, this is great. The economy is cooling off. We're taking the pressure off inflation. The reality is that the parts to make the washer and dryer and the refrigerator and the stove and all the other goods that Americans want, the cost of those are still rising. The inflationary pressures of that are still unchecked and will not be able to be defeated with higher interest rates because those parts aren't made in the United States. They're made in China and Indonesia and whatever. And yeah, to a degree, you could say, well, Bruce, you just said that the US dollar is going up in value, so these imports will be cheaper. Yes, they will, except for one problem. The price of those goods goes up 15%, the currency goes down 10%, you still have a 5% increase in the cost of the goods, plus the markups when they land. And so they're still 15% more expensive to bring in. And so the stove is not on sale at a lower price than before, which means the lower class American, Canadian, what have you, cannot afford the item because it's too expensive. It's gone up $300 for that stove. They're holding back buying mac and cheese to keep the family fed. And what do we need a fancy stove for? We're making mac and cheese. We don't need the Fed. We can't afford it anyway. It's out of reach. And the Fed now has shot itself in the foot because they have taken the very engine, the absolute engine of growth, which is the 250 million Americans out there who are ready to spend a bunch of money, go out and borrow and grow, and you've bludgeoned them back into their little hovels. And the Fed is wondering why the economy won't grow. Why is the economy so weak all of a sudden? And the high-enders who don't need any help have still got all their lobbyists in Washington to ensure that all those tax breaks that they got during the Trump presidency, when they didn't need a tax break, all the write-offs they're allowed to have, all the personal, income tax benefits that they've, gotten out of their senators and all of their, these super PAC spenders, these guys are not giving anything up on their end. And so the widening of the classes continues unabated. And you've got the very well-to-do, and you've got these 250 million Americans out of 360 million down here struggling to get by. And some of which, maybe 150 million, are really in trouble. They can't get free education after high school. They can't get licenses for jobs. They can't afford to register in their hometowns as licensed hairdressers or licensed, doing nails and toes and manicurists and all that. Small town America is so desperate for money that every single person in that town doing anything has to be a licensed whatever they have to be. So even if you want to offer massages to people, you have to be a licensed therapist. You want to offer haircuts out of your second bedroom, you have to be a licensed hairdresser. The tax grab by small town America on its own citizens is utterly devastating for most small entrepreneurs. And so there's just very few businesses being created by really gung-ho Americans trying to make a go of it because they're being taxed to death at the low end, because the guys at the high end, the McDonald's franchises of the world, the Wendy's, they're doing great. The national haircutting chains are doing just fine because they have been able to get massive tax breaks from their politicians for their businesses at the expense of the mom and pop entrepreneurs. And there you go. There's the divide between the very well haves and the underfunded have-nots who are being taxed to death by desperate cities and towns who can't get tax money from the big boys because they've been given the big tax breaks elsewhere. And bottom line, Boeing or Ford or GM or Intel or you name any company, Google, you remember the Google game that was going on 3-4 years ago? We're thinking of opening up brand new whatever center, and we're looking at the best state that we can move into. And what happened? You had 50 U.S. states competing against each other to convince Google to come to their state, and you had cities competing against cities to try to get Google to come to their city. And what were they offering? Tax breaks. Massive tax breaks. And you're a small mom and pop operation in Cincinnati, Ohio, and you're watching your city town council negotiate $100 million plus tax breaks to multinational corporations from everywhere to come into that community to open up these massive gargantuan facilities that will stress the local infrastructure to no end, that the city of Cincinnati will have to come up with the money to pay for. Who's going to pay it? The mom and pops that are already there. They're going to be crushed by these guys. And so who else is going to open up? Who dares to open up a small business in places where the tax man is waiting to pounce on you to offer manicure services out of your kitchen? I mean, it's just gone. It's a race to the bottom is what it is. And at the end of the day, all the politicians are happy with the ribbon cutting ceremony and they get their photos taken with the billionaire, whatever, who just scored a multi-billion-dollar tax holiday from the federal government, the state government, the county government, and the city government. And they're buying back their stock left, right, and center and handing out dividends to their shareholders. None of who are living in Cincinnati, by the way. There you go. And none of the senior management lives in Cincinnati, and no one's moving there. Those guys are in their posh Manhattan townhomes in LA, wherever their head offices are, and they have their secondary villas in France and in Switzerland and wherever. And Cincinnatians are the ones slogging it out, trying to make a go of it. And I'm just using that as a pure example. I'm not picking on anybody. I love Cincinnati. After all, WKRP was from Cincinnati, wasn't it? Unbelievable differences between the haves and the have-nots. And the system has been in place for decades. Nothing is changing. Nothing is changing. And so, for those of you who can now work at home, what do I tell you to do? I tell you again and again and again and again and again, and I will say it one more time. If you're thinking of working from home full-time, either as a trader, as an investor, looking after your own investments, as an option writer or whatever you want to do, great. That's one gig you can look at. Many of you are watching me from home right now going, Bruce, I'm working from home because my job now is from home and I want it this way. Great. And then many others of you are going, I have this job with company blah, blah, blah. And they want me to come into the office again 3 days a week, 4 days a week, but I'd really prefer to do this. And I don't even know if I want to be a full-timer anymore. I'd really like to be more of a consultant. And I'll come back to the one thing to tell you, wherever you live, and you live everywhere because you guys are watching me from all over the place, all of you have got to talk to an income tax advisor to find out the best way that you can work from home in whatever capacity you want to work at, or any combination of any of these things I've just talked about, where you might be a corporation. You might actually create a corporation that you and your wife or you and your children, you'll set up a trust that somehow there's a family trust that owns the corp. And this is a company that then owns a second company or a third company. And there's an investment arm, there's a consulting arm, there's the mother corporation arm. You've got to get into the game that the politicians love to support and believe is best for America. If you can't beat them, you got to join them. You've got to become part of corporate America. You have to become an integral part of the corporate world, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in the US, in the UK, Europe, I don't care where you live. You've got to talk to your local tax advisor. And you may have to talk to a couple of them because you might talk to the first guy you think knows what they're doing and they haven't got a clue what the hell you're talking about. And they're just going to dissuade you and they're not going to admit they don't know. They're basically going to just say, it's a pipe dream, go somewhere else. You've got to find out whether this is really true or not. Can you set yourself up as an S Corp or a C Corp, an LLC? I don't know what to call it, depending on what state you live in, what city you live in, what country you live in, all different scenarios. You have to figure this out to say, I'm not going to sit here in front of my computer, trade options, make a bunch of dough, and be told by some IRS lackey in some branch office somewhere that I owe a ton of money in tax, when in fact I can write off the cost of my mortgage or the cost of my taxes, percentage of my expenses that I hadn't even thought I could write off to before I pay taxes out the door. I want to be able to deduct the costs of life from my gross revenues before I pay tax on the net. I want the net to be as low as possible before I pay tax on it. Now, does that have to be inside of a corporate structure? Does that have to be inside of a corporate structure that owns other corporate structures? So be it, because you've got to start thinking ahead 10 to 15 years. not 10 to 15 minutes. You got to think ahead about the next decade. If you can generate 100,000 a year, 150,000 a year, 200,000 a year in revenues and more, and you can keep the first third of it, spend the first third of that without taxes paid and deducted off of there, and then the remainder can be split among family members into dividend payments, into loan repayment structures, who knows what. You've got to investigate this. There may well be ways to get that new car, and the car is a business car. It's a business vehicle, and all expenses are business expenses: gas, insurance, maintenance, payments, everything off the gross. Because right now, everything you're paying for your car is coming off the net. After you pay your taxes, then you pay for your car. Well, turn that table around and join corporate America in the great fleecing of America. Join in and do it legally, because it's completely legal. Get your fair share of the action, because the politicians of the world have decided that you are the enemy and corporate America is the good guy. Incredibly, but true. Corporations don't vote. They make people vote by spending money to convince people to vote. It's the people who vote, but the people are the ones getting screwed by their own politicians, because the politicians are getting bribed by the corporations. So you've got to become a corporation. You're not a briber. You're just a corporation to get your pound of flesh. You're playing the same game as all the big boys out there, the billionaires that they're playing, but you're playing it on your level. And I can tell you, the IRS will give you no problem whatsoever, because you're following the rules they wrote for corporate America. And if you've got a tax advisor to help you file your taxes, you'll have no trouble with the IRS whatsoever. And you will get your fair share of what is really yours. You'll pay taxes, yeah. But when you do pay taxes, you'll sit back and go, you know what? I don't mind paying X amount of dollars to the feds or to the state or to the city. I don't mind what I paid in taxes, because guess what? How much I got to keep of the gross that came in. It was huge. And that's why I want you to become smarter in that area. It's one thing to learn how options work and how to write them. Take my classes, do the 4 for 3 deal that I'm talking about up here. That's one thing. But the other thing is how to keep what you make and how to deduct costs of being in business to do it. And many of you don't realize the kind of expenses you can write off legally, that right now you're giving money away to the tax man when you don't have to. The tax man's just going, I'm not going to tell you how to do it right. I'm not going to show you these tricks. You kidding me? Why would I do that? Corporate America hires professionals to handle their tax situations and their deductions. Well, you're going to have to get one as well for your scaled business. And so it's time to invest in yourself for the next 10, 15, 20 years. That's how you have to look at it, and realize, gee, I can charge my business rent in my own house. I can charge business costs, the internet fees, the telephone costs. My iPhone can be written off 100%. My computer can be depreciated 20% a year off the cost of this thing that I bought last year. I can knock that off the gross. I will pay taxes on way less of the money I make than I'm paying now. That is a raise that no employer can give you anywhere. And some of you may go back to your employers and say, loved working for you for the last 15 years. It's been great. I really enjoyed those 1.5% to 2% pay raises you've been giving me for the last 10 years and telling me how lucky I am to have this job. Really been great. Thank you. Listen, here's the deal. I kind of made a few changes in my life, and here it is. I can't give you 40 hours a week anymore. Sorry, I haven't got it. I've got too many other employers, coming at me. I'll tell you what. I have a company now called, XYZ Consulting Limited. I can give you 10 hours a week at $80 an hour. I can do that for you. 800 a week. I can work for you 10 hours a week. Take it or leave it. Otherwise, we'll see you around, because you have a good time. Now they're sitting there going, "Wait a minute, whoa! We're only paying this guy $65,000 a year. We're getting 60 hours of work out of this individual. We're slaving them to death. We've totally demoralized them. They walk around schlepping around the office. This has been so beautiful for us, because our senior VPs are making all this extra money off of these guys. We have thousands of them. This guy wants what? Wait a minute. Well, this person, how much will it cost us to replace this person? What? We need 3 more people to replace this one person with 15 years experience? It's going to cost us $200,000 a year to replace this guy. Yeah, that's right. It's going to cost you $200,000 a year to replace him. Or you can get him part-time for $800 a week, $40,000 a year. You'd be surprised how many employers, may or may not talk like this, but they will come back to you and go, could you give us 15 to 20 hours a week? Could we make a deal? Could you give us a better price? And you say, I can't give you the hours you want. I can't give you a better price. Because what you're going to have to start doing, again, it's called marketing 101. You got to get out there and find other employers to hire you. And again, this is why you start now with the consultation with regard to the tax advisor. Figure that out. The tax advisor will say, you're going to need 4 clients. You cannot work for just one company and call yourself a corporation. That is, the IRS won't buy that one. They'll consider you an employee of that company and you're still taxed. But if you've got 4 employers, 4 companies that you contract out your services to, then it'll work. Well, that's when you sit there and go, well, wait a minute, my wife is a bookkeeper. I am a blah, blah, blah. We're going to become part of a company, and our company offers this service and this service. And between our 2 companies, we're going to have 4, 5, or 6 employers. I have a friend of mine who I used to work with who only wants to work part-time, or someone I used to work with a few years ago, just wants to work 10, 20 hours a week. I'm going to get that person to join my company as a consultant. And now I can hire my company out to 8 different companies. And I can give this individual 10, 15 hours of work a week that will come through my company and then pay that person a consulting fee over there. There's the diversity that I needed to be considered by the IRS a full-blown consulting corporation and not a one-man person that's trying to skirt income taxes in a shoddy kind of way. There's ways, man. There's ways. You've just got to want it. Do you really want it? You can get it. But if you don't have the oomph to go after it, you will pay the worst price that Americans pay, which is abused by the employer, screwed for promotions, given 1 to 2% pay raises. Right now, you're going to get 3 to 4% because of inflation, which is still a cut. And you're going to get the tax man just nailing you for every penny they can get out of you because you're a sap and you're giving it to them. Sorry to bring you to reality, but that is the situation that you're stuck in if you don't do anything about it. You can make money writing options on the side and take some of the sting away. Great. And if you want to leave it the way it is, you pay your taxes with your employer and you have a capital gains tax situation with option writing and it works for you, great. If it works for you, I'm happy. But if it could work better for you, then I'm not happy because now you're working too hard to make too little. And you're giving away maybe 10 or 20% of your gross income for no good reason. Absolutely no good reason. Corporate America is ahead of you and is butt in line in front of you for the attention of your local politician and your federal politician. They have screened you out. You're back there. You're behind them, right over here, right there. But they're doing this. They're doing this, and your politicians don't know you're there. And then when they do see you, they go, well, what the hell do you want? I just spent an hour with this multi-billion-dollar corporation that hires 5,000 people at $12 an hour. Why should I give you 5 minutes of my time? Who are you? That is exactly what's happening to all individuals in North America politically, because we don't matter anymore. I can tell you right now, a politician is far more interested in an opinion poll that has to do with corporate America thinks how they're doing their job, as opposed to how people think they're doing their jobs. Get that through your head. You don't matter anymore. We never really did, but now we really don't matter because there are bigger players who are in the front of the line and they take all day to get their questions answered and leave you 30 seconds to make your case. You got to join the party, pal. Welcome to the party, and you've got to make your move. By the way, I have a skill testing question for you. I found this out last night, and there's nothing to do with what I've just talked about, but this is a little diversion, a little cleansing of the palate before we talk about the market. Without looking it up on Google. Don't be cheating now. This is just from your recollection of life. What do you think? I'm going to take answers for like 2 minutes, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then it's all over. It's a skill test. It's not even a skill test question. It's a trivia question. How old was Alan Rickman when he did the role of Hans Gruber in Die Hard? How old was he when he was doing that role? That was his first ever movie. How old was Alan Rickman when he did Hans Gruber? Just a little diversion before we go to the markets. I will accept answers for the next 2 minutes. After that, I know you're cheating. You're looking it up on Google. Nicholas thinks 49. Hockey Rink thinks he was 28. Bobby thinks he was 38. Rodrigo 42. TF 42. Option Nomads. I was 40. Nick, he was 49. What's cooking when? Yeah, he was 36. Steven 48. This is 1982, 81 when that movie came out. By the way, he just passed away a few years ago. Alex is 34. Malo, he was 42. Aurora, 39. Bill, 31 maybe. 40 for Michael. Christina, he was 44. Cindy, he was 57. Hans Gruber was 57 years old in 1981. He passed away a couple of years ago, so he would have been 95. Oh, okay. Very good, Cindy. Alan was getting up there. He's definitely 40 or over. I'm saying 41, says Clay. Stephen, he was -4. IR 33. Swiss Butter 52. Beach Boy, have no idea. I'd go for 46. I thought you guys would have said, no, he was delisted by that time. He was long delisted. The answer is he was 42. He was 42 years old when he got the role of a lifetime as Hans Gruber in the movie Die Hard. 42 years old. Unbelievable. Did he take the career for his next 25, 30 years and make the most of it? He sure did, because he wasn't a millionaire when he got that role. He was an actor trying to get work, and he scored big time. And there would be no sequel for this guy. There was no part 2, part 3 like there was for John McClane. I mean, Bruce Willis got how many movies out of that role? But Hans got one shot at greatness, and he made it work for him. And as I say to all of you out there, you guys have one shot at greatness yourselves. It's all just a matter of what your level of greatness is going to be. We all have to figure out in our world what's the best way to go. Wherever it is you live, you have to figure out how you're going to make it work for you. So take a look at talking to tax people. It might be an H&R Block person you talk to, but it might not. You might have to talk to someone a little higher up than that to find out from wherever it is you live, the best way to set up your home-based business, your home-based, managing your personal affairs, or setting up a corp, or setting up a multitude of corporations, a mother company and 3 or 4 companies underneath it that do different things, reporting all the profits over here and the expenses all come out. I don't know the structure that works for you. I don't know which state has the best arrangement for you based on what you do. If you live in Connecticut, you might have to do it this way. You live in Florida, you have to do it that way. You live in Arizona, you got to do it this way. You live in Alberta, you have to do that. You live in Prince Edward Island, you have to do that. You live in Liverpool, you have to do this. You live in Dortmund, you have to do that. It's all different wherever you are. And I'm not your guy to break that down for you. But I am your guy to say, you might want to look into this because it could be huge. Okay. Thank you all so much for participating in the Alan Rickman question. Do I get a prize now? The awesome Hans Gruber and Professor Snape. That's right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome all to the program here. We got, we're at 7:20 now for the morning. I think we got 10 minutes to go before open. I can't remember. I'm all wound up. I can't believe it. We're up 189 on the Dow. We're up 48 on the S&P going into the market here. NASDAQ's up 206. The NASDAQ is holding 1.6% gains. But I can tell you, the NASDAQ is made up of the NASDAQ 100 stocks. The top 10 represent 60% of the market, of the NASDAQ market. So if Facebook and Microsoft and Apple are all up today, the NASDAQ is up today. There is no if, ands, or buts about it. So let's see how this all works out. Twitter this morning was up again, 49.05 for Twitter. It's up 41 cents right now. So it's doing all right. As I said yesterday, the stock was trading below 48 yesterday, bargain for a 54.20 cash buyout. I think the cash buyout is intact. It's going to happen. Musk is not walking away from that deal. And Twitter's numbers are improving, which I think is Musk's suspicion that, yeah, the numbers are improving. And guess what? As a private corporation, Twitter's expenses will plummet, absolutely plummet, because the registration fees are gone, the listing fees are gone. All the regulations to do with SEC legals is over. It's a private corporation, which is a lot cheaper to run than a public corporation, which means for Twitter, they might save $50 million a year in expenses just being a public company. This is huge for these guys. This goes right to the bottom line, takes away way more losses, eliminates a ton more losses. Then Elon can zero in on what they need to do and where they want to promote the company and cut back on. They can really make this a lean and mean operation from a bleed point of view. Stop the stupid bleeding of money. You don't need all these fancy dancy directors with all these compensations. You don't need all these compensation committees. You can really cut to the core here and take stuff off the top. I might be conservative with a $50 million a year saving. It might be $100 million a year in savings. $2 million a week, less expensive to be private than public, which Twitter is at the moment. It could be huge. We'll wait for that. Anyway, there you go. I don't know. We'll see what's going on. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for popping in here. We'll see what's going on. Let's have some fun today. Can we make some money? That is what we want to know. Can we make some money today? Where are we at right now? We got oil up 19 cents at the moment. We're watching the currencies closely. We're watching interest rates closely. Oh my gosh, we got so much going on here. I did note that headlines came out regarding the U.S. Economy. The GDP numbers were revised lower. Let's see what we got here. GDP was lower in the States. They say, headline here, GDP may have shrunk in the first quarter, but not because the U.S. economy was bad. The U.S. economy likely laid an egg in the first quarter based on official scorecard for growth known as the gross domestic product. But look past the headline number, analysts say, and the economy seems to be fairly strong. The U.S. economy slowed to an annual 1% rate of growth in the first quarter from a sizzling 6.9 at the end of 2021, analysts polled by Wall Street Journal estimate. Some noted forecasters even forecast an outright decline for the first time since the onset of the pandemic in the spring of 2020. This is a bad sign. Hardly say economists. It doesn't mean the economy was weak. Rather, GDP can be a really misleading figure sometimes. A record U.S. international trade deficit, less government spending, and a decline in inventory levels is partly to blame. Yet the twin pillars that hold up the economy, consumer spending and business investment, were probably pretty strong in the first quarter. The most important detail is consumer spending, since it accounts for more than 2/3 of the U.S. economic activity. What blows my mind, when I read a comment like that, read that line, consumer spending, that's you people, individuals, not corporations. You as individuals, you make up 2/3 of the U.S. economy's strength. And yet you guys are the ones who get screwed the most by your own politicians. It defies logic to me how much disdain politicians actually have at every level of government for their own voters who make up 2/3 of the strength of the American economy. Talk about kicking in the rear end the people who pay your bills and carry your country forward. It just blows my mind that corporate America, which is run by thousands of people, not 350 million, but thousands of influential business people who have made huge money and make the really big money, they control the legislative bodies of almost the entire U.S. government, the vast majority of state governments. And these guys also put their personal beliefs and wants and desires on the legislature's tablet that that holds off legislatures from taking care of stuff like potholes on roads in your neighborhoods that you are paying for, that you have to drive every day. Remember, the roads in Palm Desert, California, where I hang out in the wintertime, the roads in Beverly Hills, the roads in on Rodeo Drive, the nicest roadways in the highest demographics of the United States are perfect, always perfect, cleaned, maintained, and the cops are everywhere to make sure no one is parked illegally. No one's hanging out in a trailer on the side of the road, living there for a week because they're homeless. They're taken away. All right. The homeless are cleared off and are nowhere to be seen. There are neighborhoods in the United States where the very well-to-do live a very comfortable life in their little enclaves. The rest of you guys, 349 or 359 million of you guys, are living in the rest of America. And the rest of America varies from very nice to very unnice. And the politicians out there are listening to the 0.001% of the folks who have the bucks to tell them what they want. And politicians get elected not on morals, they get elected with dollars. And that is the bottom line. And it's a one-sided game right now, and you've got to become part of the game. You've got to become part of corporate America in your own unique way. But this is a fascinating thing, that the GDP, 2/3 of it is done by consumer spending. The 360 million Americans who are trying to get by and need to buy stuff. Unbelievable. Business investment, yep, they make up 1/3, but the business investment is purely driven by the 2/3 of Americans who buy stuff. That's all it is. Business investment is a direct reflection of how much money you guys spend for getting by and living. And the Fed is blaming you for inflation. That's what really blows my mind. That's how out of touch these guys are with what's happening on the street level. They actually think that the average American is responsible for inflation. It's ridiculous. It's just mind-numbing. Anyway, maybe Japan has it right. Maybe Japan has it right. And they're saying, we're not raising interest rates right now. No, we want our economy to grow. We're not going to kill our economy. We've already been in stagflation for 35 years. We're not going to add to this misery. No damn way are we doing that. We're going to let our currency drop against other currencies. We're shaking it up, and we're going it alone. We don't need the United States permission or China's blessing. We're going to let the yen drop off in value, and you guys figure it out yourselves. You guys deal with it, because we're not going to support the Western world on the backs of our consumers. We're not interested in doing it. It's a fascinating thing that's happening over there, and most Americans have no clue what this means. They have no idea the impact of it. But it's going to be interesting to see how Asia reacts to Japan saying, we're going to let our currency plummet in value right now. We're going to make it really expensive for goods to come in to our country. And we're going to make it really easy for us to sell our crap to everybody else at a discount. And so Japan is on sale. That's the official word. Japan is on sale. Deal with it, China. And has China got problems? Oh my God, have they got troubles? Unbelievable. Anyway, there he is. Uncle Bruce, you're not listening to us. You're not listening to us. You're one of the rich. Larry, thank you for hitting the bell. Appreciate it. We're up and running. We're rolling. Larry, there's a new ATIP CEO. There's a new ATIP CEO. Can you believe it? Can we believe it? Do we believe it? Is that true? Can we really buy into that? Boy, it would be nice if it moved the market. ATIP down 6 cents to 147. Give me a break. Come on, man. Let's go. Oh, boy. Kids, welcome to the show. Welcome to the old man ranting. 4906 on Twitter right now is what I'm showing. Let's get these markets up and see what's going on. Take a look at this opening here this morning. See if anybody here can make some money today. We're up 207 on the Dow right now. We're up 51 on S&P. NASDAQ So it looks like it's got a gain going. I'm trying to get my iPad to refresh here. 207, 209 on the Dow, up 57 on S&P, up 239 on NASDAQ. Oil down 11 cents. Carvana up 155. Twitter up 51 cents. Cyxtera is up 8. Rocket Lab is up 11. SoFi up 19. GameStop up 51. AMC up 21. Matterport up 29. ME up a penny. Spire up 3. Haycroft Mining down 1 cent. ATIP up 7 cents to 154. SmartRent down 6. Pfizer up 90. Compaq up 40. Compaq. Hewlett Packard up 47 cents. Now back to ATIP. I don't have anything on this particular site that tells me anything. So let me go over here to perhaps ATIP, and perhaps I can get something, anything on ATIP. Is this true? I'd sure like it to be true. What do we got? Yes, we have a naming. Sharon Vitti, CEO. ATIP has named Sharon Vitti as CEO. The Chicago provider of outpatient physical therapy says Miss Vitti, 57 years old, joins from CVS Health Corp, where she served as senior vice president and president of its Minute Clinic walk-in medical clinics. ATIP last August said it was launching a search after Labid Diab resigned, after he got shown the door and he got kicked the hell out of there. That's all we have, but boy, that's great. I mean, that's about time. I don't know why it took them so forever to do it, but they have a CEO. Oh my gosh. Can this be good? I don't know. Now he's seen it. He's seen it. Everyone's so happy. Yes, Uncle Bruce, we've been trying to tell you for quite some time about ATIP, but you've been ranting away about life and everything else. You're just ignoring us. Brought back a Friday GameStop 135 yesterday, turned around and wrote a 133. Then it went up. Let's see what happens this morning. Let's see. I'm really not too worried about GameStop taking off on you out there. It's up $1.40, and that's all it's up. I don't think it's going anywhere. I really... GameStop is not leading this market higher. Okay, this is not a GameStop-led stock market. GameStop is getting sucked along in the vortex. It's all about the FANG stocks, the top 10 NASDAQ players. That's what it is right now, my hunch. All right. Anyway, we have a new one. It's like shouting at a movie theater not to go to a room with a killer. They never pay attention, you know. Why are you going in the barn with all those knives in there? Why don't you just take that car and drive away? What's wrong with you guys? Don't go in there. Oh my gosh, Larry Titus, don't be that guy in the theater. Oh my goodness. We're up right now 105 on the Dow, 42 on S&P, and 186 on NASDAQ. NASDAQ's up 1.5%. 0.99 on S&P and 0.35 on the Dow. That's where we're at right now. Something newsworthy. ATIP makes it worth buying. Fine, take your 100 shares. I would buy it. I definitely would buy ATIP. If you guys were thinking, well, maybe is this kind of news I should buy ATIP on? Yeah, this is the kind of news you should buy ATIP on. You're talking about a CVS person? Yeah, that's the talent that should be attracting coming in here. I would have to think that this female coming in here, this person coming in here, she's got to be looking at this going, let me get this straight. You want me to join your company? 900 plus locations in the United States, the leader in physiotherapy as an independent therapy provider. You're up to here in customers. You can't handle them all. And I can get into this company, and you're giving me a stock option at $150 a share for the next 5-10 years, and I can become a multimillionaire if I join this company and really get it up and going like I do over at CVS. Yeah, let me join you guys, because guess what she's going to do? Take a wild guess what's probably going to happen in the next 3 to 6 months. Do you think maybe some other people from CVS might be coming over? Do you think she's going to be making a few text messages to some of her former colleagues and say, hey, why don't you come on over here? Why don't you come and join me? Why don't we take this little company and make it a little powerhouse? Why don't we make this little outfit a real moneymaker? And you can get in too at 15 cents on the dollar that they went public at. backed up by an $80 billion hedge fund in Boston. We got a huge backer to take care of our bills if necessary. We need $1 billion for an acquisition. We can get $1 billion. We're $1.50 a share. Why did you join me? I have a suspicion calls have already been made. Lined up people are already lined up. Resignations are going to start hitting CVS's door at any time as this is going forward. Yeah, I think ATIP is a buy. Yeah, for many, many reasons. Now you can add this one. Way to go. That's my first initial reaction to this. I like it a lot. The market has no idea what we're talking about. They don't, because they don't know who this is. They don't know this company. They have not a clue. Now, does this individual have in mind a brand new investor relations person? That might also be already happening. You got to wonder, this gal that's been hired here has discussions have probably been going on for 3 months. Don't you think that she's already been making phone calls to potential investor relations people to join her as soon as possible? Because they got a story to sell. They have a story to tell the investment community at large of what this company is going to become. So in other words, we have a promoter. We got a stock promoter. Now, if this gal is comfortable getting in front of a camera, that would be really good. Get her up in front of CNBC's cameras in the next few weeks, have little chats, talk about the undiscovered little stock here, the SPAC that was really hammered and is now on a turnaround curve. There could be a real momentum trade here, a real momentum trade. So, go to $3. Hey, how many of you guys would break even if it hit $3 if you're picking up some down here? Yeah, I would be picking this stuff up. Don't be trying to bargoon this thing either. Get it. Like Ghostbusters, the whole plan. Get her. Get this stock now. Don't try to get it for a nickel less or 2 cents less. Don't play little games. Oh, it was $147 for the low. I'll pay $148. Don't play that game. Get in there, get this stuff, and just tuck it away. And let's see what happens. Let's give this person a shot because this is good news. This really is good news. 7.8 cents higher at 154.8 cents right now. Yeah, I'd be buying this stuff. Yeah, I'd recommend it. Smart Rent up 11, Pfizer up 46, Hewlett Packard up 64, Robinhood 970. They're coming with earnings today, aren't they? Vanik up 5.98, Home Depot up 2.28, IBM up 14 cents, Microsoft up $1, Apple up 3.45 to 160. I don't see Apple going past 170, even with great numbers because of the China problem. That's the other shoe that will drop. Sooner or later, that will drop. Goldman up 2.89, Cisco up 27 cents, Facebook up $27 to 202. Note that on Facebook, as great as it is, as wonderful as the stock is right now, even back in April the 4th, the stock was 233. It's at 202. It's not going anywhere, really. It's up here at 202. Yeah. It's not going to 250 a share. It's not going to 300 a share. Not happening. There are structural problems at Facebook that are still underlying. But today is a good day. Let's not poo-poo that. Okay. What else is going on? I would settle for a good earnings report from ATIP. Good morning, Uncle, says D. Gray. Larry, go, ATIP, go. We've been waiting for so long. DQ, Tuesday sold Cisco May 6th, 52s. For 83 cents, just bought back a stink bid for 16 cents on the opening trade. Beautifully done, DQ. It's called making money in the market no matter what. Swiss butter, get her. Credit. Good morning, everybody, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. Hope everyone is well. So Uncle Bruce, looks like Lending Club had some good numbers yesterday and went up 20% after hours. Direct competitor, SoFi. I love it. Yes, I love to see people in the fintech finance business doing well because SoFi will do even better than that. Yes, we're at 632 on SoFi, up 17 cents. This is good stuff. We love it. It's time to take my clothes off. I'm so excited. I can't handle it anymore. Time to get the ratings going, drive the ladies crazy, take my clothes off on air. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. Liberating. Oh, it's wonderful. Without pants on, all I'm wearing is a t-shirt. This is great. Oh, this is, oh, so free. Oh, yes. We're up 150 on the Dow. Carvana up 20 cents to 65.94. Heard some interesting news on Carvana. Read this early this morning. Carvana was trying to raise over $3.5 billion to seed their bank account with a bunch of dough, and they're trying to acquire an auction type company in the US in the automotive side. And the story goes that they were having trouble selling their bonds. They were trying to issue bonds to the tune of $2.4 billion or something like that. And they were trying to sell some preferred shares. It's other shares and dilution everywhere. And apparently the bond offering was not going very well because Carvana bonds are rated at C rated. They're triple C rating, really bad. It's junk bonds. Story was that the pricing for the bonds was so bad that Carvana was looking at the potential of paying 15% interest on $2 billion in debt, which makes it very difficult to make money as a company, because when the first 10% off the top goes to your bankers, it doesn't leave a lot after expenses to make any money. Now, the story goes that they approached Apollo, which is a huge hedge fund, huge investment fund. And Apollo made them an offer I guess they couldn't refuse. The offer seems to be that Apollo is suggesting, let's do a $3.5 billion deal. We'll do half of that deal. We'll take half of it guaranteed. That's 1.6 billion or something like that. And we'll do it at 10.5%. But here's a caveat. Normally, when you do a 5 or a 7 year or a 10-year bond on a junk bond offering or any kind of bond, the corporation has to leave the bond alone for a year and let it sit out there before they could turn around and theoretically buy bonds back and cancel them. Under this arrangement, it's a 3-year lockup. So Apollo is saying, you guarantee us a 10.5% interest for the next 3 years on 1.6 billion or something like that. 160 million interest for 3 years, 500 million in interest guaranteed for 3 years. Will take down this entire deal. Now, apparently that backing from Apollo allowed the company to close the rest of it out, from what I'm gathering. So it seems to me that Carvana is on the hook for 10% interest, 10.5% interest for $3-something billion for the foreseeable future. So the first 300 million they can clear in a profit, and they don't make profits, would just pay the lenders. The other story is that with the money that they're bringing in, they can buy this other company and bring it into the company and all that, and they can try to stabilize the cash flow and the bleed out. And they're saying, whoever they are, the analysts are saying that it's about 2 years worth of money. They got another 2 years of life with this whole deal. Gives them 2 more years to live. So they better turn this thing around quick. The problem for Carvana is we're not locked up anymore. And so used car prices are beginning to fall. They're not going up anymore. Used car prices are falling. And new cars are coming to the lots and will come to lots because new car companies are scrambling to get cars to dealerships, and they will not stop 24/7 to do it. And so in a year or two, car dealers will be stocked up again. That's bad news for Carvana, because now you have more choice where to get your vehicle and where to trade in your old one. I don't know how these guys are going to make it. They're at 64.12 right now, down 162. I was wondering if they would have a little pop-up this morning as a little run-up to start the day off. Hasn't happened. 64.12 down 162. They're not going anywhere. The Dow, by the way, is only up 108. We're not up 200-300 points to start the morning off. We're only up 108. S&P is up 331 and NASDAQ up 115 right now. Getter, that is the plan right there. I have 1,000 ATIP at 520 average. Going to need more than 3 to break even. I'm not worried. Bill, wow, you're right, Bruce. She's going to bring people from CVS. That Minute Clinic was a success for them. She'll bring big players with her. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'd be doing. Look, I'm the CEO of ATIP. I know I'm going to take this job. I've negotiated with them. I'm taking the gig. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring a team of people in with me that's going to shake this place up. We're going to completely transform this corporation into a different company altogether. We're not going to be that little sleepy little clinic company based out of Chicago with 900 little clinics. Oh, no. There's a whole new game in town. There's a new sheriff in town, okay? And those who get in early now will benefit from this announcement because there will be a plethora of announcements coming out on ATIP. Look for ATIP to every week come up with new announcements. As she settles in, you're going to see some serious stuff. This baby is going to hit 88 miles an hour, and you're going to see some serious you know what. That's what's going to happen here. The stock is up a dime this morning. You ain't seen nothing. This is nothing. The only reason it's still here at 157 and it's not at 197 is because 99% of the stock market does not yet know who they are and what it is they do, because this company is classified as a former SPAC stock. And no investment advisor is calling any client anywhere to say, hey, listen, I just heard something that's really juicy. I just found out that a senior executive of CVS has become the CEO of this little company, and they're going to shake things up. There is nobody making those calls. Nobody. Okay? So it's early. But this stock down here, how long do you think it's going to last? We've traded 115,000 shares today. It's up 10 cents now. It doesn't need a million shares to go up a dime. It needs 115,000 at $1.50. $150,000 of buying power has moved this market up 10 cents a share. Hello? Hello? Is anybody home? Hello? Marty McFly? Hello? This thing is about to explode. Not today, maybe not on Monday, but I'm telling you, when this thing breaks, and it will break because there are 80 billion reasons in Boston why this is going to go. There's an owner that owns a ton of this stuff. They've got 80 billion under admin, and they got millions into this thing. This is not going to stay here anymore. You've heard it from me one last time. I'm warning you. Don't come crying to me 3 weeks from now if this is trading at 220, 270, 330, 380, and you're going, I should have listened to you. You got some spare change lying around? You got a couple of $100? You got $1,000 lying around? Pick this stuff up now. Don't dilly-dally about it. Get it. Go get her. Get her. Yeah. Why would she leave a cushy job at CVS to join a nickel and dime, $150 a share company doing physiotherapy through 920 some odd centers? Why would this person probably leave a $250,000 a year job, benefits galore, stability forever? Why would she leave that gig at age 51 after 30 years of working? Think about that. From her 20s to 50s. She's 30 years into her career, and she's walking to go to $1.50 a share ATIP thing. Why would she do that? Oh, I think I know. I think I know. I think you know. And now you have an opportunity here to say, you know what, I should buy this stuff and pretend it's a stock option. It's $1.58. That's a stock option at $1.58. That's it. With no expiry date. Nothing but upside. What's the downside of this thing? Another 20 cents? I mean, come on. What's the downside? It's $1.57. Spire's 163. It's also cheap, but it has its own unique issues. But ATIP has a ton of potential upside here. Maybe her job is to merge with other companies. Maybe her job is to merge her company into some other companies to do some acquisitions and get this thing to $5-8 and then do a takeout at $12 to $15 a share. Maybe ATIP will be a takeover target at $15 a share 3 years from now. Well, that's 10 times your money. Are you happy with that? Can you be happy? This is the opportunity you're being given here. Just saying. I don't know. Maybe. I'm just saying maybe. But there's something there's something going on here, and it looks good. Anyway, there you have it. Oh, we're going to have fun here. Abraham, thank you for the thumbs up. Number 115. Fantastic. Let's see what else is going on. ATIP is my number one stock in my portfolio. I've been waiting forever for this day. It's drinking time. There you go. I could really use the coffee money, says Duncan. Uncle Bruce, Spire sent out a proxy vote this morning for 2 board of directors and PwC as their accounting firm. Okay, right on. Things continue on. And what else is going on here? Maybe Amazon will buy these guys. They'll own everything. Who knows? What else? Yippee-ki-yay is all fired up. Let's see. Let's go. What else is happening? GameStop dip. Wowza. Is GameStop dropping off? We're at 129.57. Yep, we're down 27 cents. Hi, Uncle Bruce, Beach Boy. Since you're undressing, you should know that I entered a 305 limit to buy back these May 13 140s. I wrote for 765. Keep your pants on, please. Right on, Beach Boy. You scored that little deal. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And the stock is off a little bit already. So, you just sit tight, my friend. You wrote some nice contracts there. Let's see what else is happening on here. Austin, ATIP is my first investment in my entire life. Hopefully she can stick it out and being a CEO. I think there's going to be upside. I don't fear downside on ATIP. Not at all. 157 right now, up a dime. Volume this morning, 144,000 shares. $210,000 of buying power has come into this stock. That's it. That's how unknown this thing is, but that is about to change. And this company is going to get some coverage and some respect. It's just going to take a little time for her to settle in and bring in her peeps. She's going to bring in her army of supporters. Watch out. And if that means that she's going to hire or she's going to institute a search for top-notch investor relations people, look out. Look out. Christina, Uncle Bruce, okay, GameStop is under 130. I have my 4 calls I sold. Do I buy back now and make 338 and then wait for a rally and sell a few weeks out, or just fold my arms? Last night's Gold Bagel show has me pondering what to do. What should I do on this? Well, I would say you wait a little bit yet because I'm kind of curious to see, and I'm kind of figuring what we're seeing is going to continue here. The markets, I think, are having a dead cat bounce. The Dow's up 150. Okay, not up 300. S&P's up 32. NASDAQ, look at it. It's only up 88 points. We were up 250 in the pre-market. It was supposed to be a glorious day for the NASDAQ. It's now up 0.73 of 1 percentage point instead of up 2-something percent. It's really collapsed. There are people out there who are going, I'm selling into this strength and I'm getting out. And they're moving into other areas to make better returns, or they need money for other bets. I don't know. GameStop is not going to lead the market higher. It's going to get sucked higher. It's going to be brought up with the market if it moves up higher. We got a mixed bag going here. GameStop has earnings coming out May 10. We're $129.99 right now. We're not $199.99, are we? We're back to $129.99 from $208. Christina, you can't lose no matter what you do, really. And that's the beauty of being an option writer. This is what makes me so excited for you and all of you who are on this channel, who are actively doing this already. And a lot of you who are thinking about this, because you keep saying to yourselves, I know what you're doing. You're watching me going, is this guy for real? He keeps talking about the option writers making money in this market. And I don't know whether should I believe him or not, but look at what Christina is doing. Christina is sitting on 4 calls. Just 4. And she's up right now a little bit of money on the 4. If she doesn't do anything, they're going to expire out. They're out of the money by 14 cents right now. What should she be doing? Well, Christina can't go wrong buying them back. Absolutely not go wrong whatsoever. She buys them back. She can sit back, let the stock pop a little bit later today if it does anything, and then write 130s or 135s for next week, the week after that, or the week after that, and take in a fat premium with time value only on top of this contract. Great way to go. But as we are talking, as I'm talking to her and to you, the stock now is 129.41, 129.12, and it's backing up. And it is already hitting 128.01 as the low. And here we are down 43 odd cents, 72 odd cents again, racking up on the stock. The further down it goes, the cheaper these calls get. So, Christina, here's my recommendation. I think what you should do is put in a stink bid, a really cheap buyback bid. Maybe, I don't know what your contracts are trading at. I don't have the number. I'm not sure exactly what you have. I suspect you were saying you had contracts that were dying this Friday. Am I right? Not 100% sure if I'm right on that. But they are backing off. You may want to put in a really cheap stink bid in case the stock does a $4 swan dive. Always got to give it a shot. On the other hand, you can play the, I'm going to take my dough off the table right now because it's there, and I'm going to sit on the sidelines and wait for later today to see if I want to write something for a few weeks out. And I might play that game. Keep an eye on the Dow Jones Industrial Index. Keep an eye on S&P 500. Keep an eye on the NASDAQ, because these markets will lead you and will give you a guidance as to what the big money is doing. Which direction are these markets really headed for? None of them are up 1% now. They're all up less than 1% each. So I think we're running into resistance levels, and we're running into folks who are cashing in right now. But 129.57 is where the stock is at. And if you're taking off $350 or $400 off the table, adding it to your wins for the week, way to go. And sit on the sidelines and see if you want to write something later today, if there's any recovery, or whether it's tomorrow. And you might, like I say, write a call a few weeks down the road. You might write 4 of them for a fat premium on out of the money calls. Might be the way to go. 128.75 right now, just dropped again. So put in a stink bid to buy them back. Put in a cheap stink bid and see if you can score, something 50 cents to $1 less than where they're trading at right now, or where they've been trading at lately. Try to see if you can max out your return. Obviously, time is on your side. It's shrinking. The price is the right direction. It's negative. You may well be able to get these back for a fraction of what you sold them for. All right. Keep me posted, though. Keep me posted. Okay. What else is going on here? Mr. Mojo Rising. I don't see any of these stocks moving significant gains here for a while, perhaps a couple of years. Yes, any positive movement is good, but let's remember how down ATIP is from a year ago. Well, keep in mind, Mr. Mojo, this is a company that is relatively unknown by the street. And the street does not realize that they have 920 or 950 actual therapy centers. This is a company that could make a deal with a CVS. They could make a deal with guys like this. They could make some kind of a strategic alliance with a major pharmaceutical where people are referred to these guys for some kind of a fee. I mean, there is the tip of the iceberg for ATIP that hasn't been explored yet. All we have here is 900 something centers where physical therapy is being provided. We got a company that's on a hiring spree like crazy. The good news is if COVID is backing off, and hospital workers are available and therapists are available again, these guys will grab therapists with a lot of work that they can make a lot of money on. This could be the beginning of a big run for this company. At the end of the day, if the shares go to $6, they don't even get to 10. They get to 6. And so many of you have been wise enough and clever enough to just be picking these things off and just buying these stocks up quietly and bringing your average down. Back at $6 a pop, you're going to be loving life, because now you can look at writing $8 or $10 call options on this stuff and start bringing in $1 a share for a couple of months at a time, which will compensate you for your 157 purchase today handsomely every few months. There's opportunities here. 167,000 traded, by the way. The street still doesn't know what's going on. For now, it's a limited time offer until the street figures it out, though. Let's go. Yippee-ki-yay. We have our orders for today. Buy ATIP now, get classes and thumbs ups. There you go. It's so simple. What else is going on here? Not your daddy's doobie. 1,000 more ATIP. Thank you very much. Okay, Uncle, just bought another 1,000 shares of ATIP. You can sell ice to an Eskimo. There you go. Duncan, I'm number 158 on the thumbs ups. Same here, says Alberto. Not your daddy's. D Gray, 103,000. I'm not sure what that means. Let's see. Thank me for my 600 share buy order I just put in. Way to go. A whale laughing out loud. John, I get the feeling that once our former SPACs turn a positive quarter, the negative Nancy's that keep pounding them down will be forced to stop as the street will begin to take notice. Yes. Yes. We are so early in the game on these SPACs. You are. You absolutely are. Damn it, Bruce, I just bought another $6,000 of ATIP. Never thought I'd touch that stock again. Please don't tell me to jump off a bridge. Let's go, baby. Let's go. What else is happening here? What is going on? Austin, DQ saying, Austin, you have to jump off the bridge to get home. Mike and I are down here already shotgunning beers waiting for you. Let's see. Oh man, what is happening elsewhere? Fresh powder tomorrow, adding more Spire and ATIP. GameStop 127.28 down 256. It's backing up. ATIP at 156 up 9 on a volume now of 185,000 shares. Just grab this stuff. Wing Commander, Uncle Bruce, I'm looking to buy another 100 GameStop and start writing calls on the stock. 129 seems expensive considering we have earnings coming up and historically GameStop gets hammered. What are your thoughts? Well, there you go. At the end of the day, though, you look at it this way. If you're going to buy the stock and you're prepared to hang on to it for several years anyway, you pay 129 or 127 now and start writing 130 contracts against it and just start bringing in income now. And a year from now, you've done 15 different option rights, 18 times you've written contracts, 24 times you've brought in $3, $4, $5 every time. You've more than paid for your stock. You've added 100 more and another 100. You're writing 3 at a time. What do you care where it trades at? Just make money for you. It's you're a landlord. Take the money. It's being handed to you. I don't know. Austin, I got my average down to 580, laughing out loud. Right on. Hi, Jen.
It's dark in here.
Is it? Oh, I forgot to take that thing off up there. What else is going on here? Average ATIP average for me, $1.70, says Michael Downs. Well done, sir. Let's see. What else? Okay, I put in a stink bid for $2 for all. Let's see what happens. Right on. Vilbus, I'm number 169 thumbs ups. What's your thought on Texas Instruments, Bruce? Texas Instruments, been watching it closely the last little while, showing it at 171. This is a dead cat bounce. If this thing was so great, why isn't it back to $200 a share? The low of the year, 160. The high, 202. It's not going anywhere. 170, 179, up 240. It's going lower. This company's going lower. The China problem is a problem, and it's going to get worse. So
my boyfriend had a Texas Instrument calculator. He was so cool.
Her boyfriend had it.
It was a thing. Because it had all of the formulas built into it, and it was big, and it had explanations on the back, and put it in your pocket. Oh yeah, big hanging with Texas Instrument calculator. I have no idea what he wanted it for.
I gotta admit, when I became interested in the stock market, I hung out with a guy from Merrill Lynch who was a stockbroker. He owned a Texas Instruments calculator that divided, multiplied, added, and subtracted. And it had a little screen on it and big buttons on it.
Had the screen, not paper.
It had the screen on it, not paper. This is 1979, kids. I bought me one of those. It cost me about $200 way back when, in 1979, $200. The rent on our apartment was $313 a month. Think about this. What do you pay for a 2-bedroom apartment today? Take 2/3 of that price and buy a calculator that adds, subtracts, multiplies, and divides.
Except the kids now are going, what do you mean you had a separate calculator? I have one on my phone. What are you talking about?
I had to have one to do all these calculations for my securities exchange
Well, I know. And when you
exams.
started your course,
Oh my
one of the
God.
things they said is you have to go get a calculator.
You got to have one of these calculators,
gotta have
and
one.
you have to be able to figure out
And we had
financial
the
earnings.
amortization booklet. Ooh.
I still have the calculator. It still works. It's a 43-year-old calculator, and it still runs.
And we still have the
Made in
amortization
America,
booklet.
Baby.
We still have that amortization booklet.
Mortgages.
But it starts
8.5%.
8.5%. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a little blue book
It's the little
that
blue
shows
book.
you what mortgage payments would be based on what the interest rates are. And the lowest interest rate in the book was 8.5%.
Yeah.
Because rates at the time were 15.
Yeah.
They were thinking 20%
Yeah.
rates forever. We were thinking 12 to 20% interest rates forever.
Yeah, I think it
And
went up
that
to
book
like
was relevant for
30%.
15 years.
Yeah.
It was relevant. Now you can't find an 8.5% mortgage, even with the higher rates. Now you can't find.
Now you can't find an amortization booklet because again, I have it on my phone.
There is no such thing as an amortization booklet. Think of all the trees that have been spared from amortization booklet cranking out. Look at ATIP, $1.61, people. Hello, McFly. Are you there, McFly? Hello, 161 on ATIP. Hello.
Is that why I've heard you yelling?
I'm happy to see this going up. 185,000 traded on ATIP 161. Hello.
You have to take those off. It's really dark.
It's really dark in here. I put the shaders on last night when I did the big show here, prime time show, and yeah.
And they didn't fall off and scare us.
Oh, they didn't. The higher ATIP goes, the more attention it will attract, because it'll start showing in the percentage increase of the stock. People are going, what's going on with this stock? Who are these guys? That's what's beginning to happen. Your time is running out if you're thinking of getting some of this stuff cheap. Your time is running out. If you thought of getting it 157, 158, get it at 161 now. Don't be dilly-dallying on this. It's so hard to be
Were you
me.
about to say a bad word?
It's so hard to be me. It's so hard to be me.
It's so hard.
It's so hard.
Is it?
Is it really?
Or is it hard to keep beside?
Is it hard to be beside? It's so hard to be beside me. Oh my God.
People want to be me. They can't be me, so they just want to be near me.
There you go. I don't understand why this channel doesn't have 20,000 viewers watching at the same time. You can watch a guy get the crap beat out of him by his wife off camera. And he laughs and he laughs and he laughs. Oh my God. Is it hard to be beside you? Yes, that might be it. 128.08 on GameStop. We're down $1.76. Oh my gosh, 160 on ATIP. I hope you're not waiting to buy ATIP. Don't be waiting. Don't cry to me. This goes to $2 today. Don't you cry to me. I don't want to hear tears.
$20 today?
10 to 2. It could go to 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
ATIP hired a new CEO.
Oh.
They started the search last August. Today, they announced a new CEO. We've all been going here for months going, when is ATIP going to have a new CEO? How much longer do they need? Who does this person have to be?
You know, not to be a contrarian, but is it because no one wanted the job?
The individual, a 51-year-old woman,
Okay.
senior vice president from CVS Pharmacy, who's in charge of the Minute Clinics, these in-store clinics that they had.
Yeah.
She was running that.
Okay.
And I'm sitting here saying to my gang, guys, what do you think? Why do you think she would leave a job like that at age 51? She's at the prime of her career. 30 years probably working, 25 years working at least.
Making a real nice increase in wage.
One. But sometimes that isn't enough because you don't think she's being chump paid now.
And
she's making good money where
she
she
had
was.
to move or
No. Now think through this. She's making good money now. She's ahead of CVS.
Sure, absolutely.
CVS is a multi-billion-dollar gigantic freaking monster. And she left that job for this little chump change $1.50 stock company? What? Yeah, well, you think that she has already been in discussions with these guys for months?
Be interesting to see what
First
her
of all.
package was.
Yeah, well, that's one. But
Yeah.
the other thing is, you got to figure she's been in discussions for months through her agent. She should have been, she's certainly being
Right.
represented by a headhunter who is helping her with the discussions. You know that's a fact. She's also reached out to friends and colleagues for advisory.
Absolutely.
And yeah, she's been offered a stock option. Of course she has. But don't you think the other thing she's now doing? She's contacting all her pals at CVS, her lieutenants,
yeah.
her 3, 4, 5th people behind her, her
Yeah.
team, her
Her
team.
team.
And don't you think that also what she would have done? If you're hiring the right person, you got an individual who's thinking 10 steps ahead
Always.
of this job, going, okay, number one, I need my lieutenants with me to run this new company like we ran CVS. Number two, we need an investor relations team to really beef up the promotion of the stock. And I would
Does
bet
ATIP
you,
even have a relations team right now? Yeah.
is that there you go. Did you hear that?
Like,
So
Really?
don't you think that part of the negotiations to take on this gig from the chairman of ATIP, which represents the hedge fund that owns ATIP, don't you think part of the discussions were what her powers are, like unlimited, do whatever you think
well, and
is
she would have
necessary?
come in with you know a timeline, a schedule that this is what we need to do, and this is when we need to do it, and this is going to be the results.
And what about this? She may have been one of 10 candidates, and then they narrowed her down to one of 5,
Right.
one of 3, and then they came to those people and said, tell us what you would do if you were to be CEO of this company. And she came up with a game plan that said, I'm going to do this, do a brand new investor relations department, We're going to be on CNBC. We're going on Fox Business. We're going in front of the cameras. We're going to promote the crap out of this company. We're going to expose this company to the investment world. You are utterly unknown right now.
Mhm.
That is about to completely change. That's why they hired her. That's why they hired her and went, okay, you're the candidate. You're the one, because you've got the vision. And here's the blank check. Just do whatever you need to do. And there is what is happening. And right now the stock is $1.60.6, up 13.6 cents on a volume of 324,000 shares. There's more trading in the first hour of this stock's day than ever, like normally ever. And I'm begging viewers, I'm begging you guys, buy this thing now. Buy it, because you haven't got much time. No time, because she's in there now. This isn't a job she's going to take. She took it. It's over. Get in there. Like we said at Ghostbusters, get her. That's the plan.
Get her.
Get her.
That was your whole
The
plan.
whole plan. Get her. Just get her. Get in there. You want to bet against her? You don't think this is the right hire? Oh, I think you've got a problem. Because what's the downside of the stock? $1.25? What's the worst that can happen on this? I mean, come on. Yeah, no, this thing's going. I think that there's an unlimited checkbook available for her to do whatever she needs to get done.
Well, yeah, because they've got a little bit of cash in their pocket.
Yeah, $80 billion backer
Yeah.
to make sure this thing succeeds.
Little bit of cash.
Yeah, and they're not here for a 2-week turnaround. They've got time, but they want a reasonable turnaround. And the first $2 the stock moves up is a nothing burger.
Yeah.
It will take nothing for it to go to $3.50 a share. Nothing. It's from there the work begins.
I'm sure the rest of the world is just like Canada, that people are starting to access doctors again. They're starting to
Look at you.
look at me. They're starting to go to all those things, and one of the big ones that they do is physiotherapy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got that right, kids. Yeah, watch out, guys.
Just remind people it's not a massage.
It ain't no massage. That's right.
It's supposed to hurt you.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. People are trying to figure out how big CVS is. They're huge, multi-billion-dollar monster.
Is it just in America?
I don't know. They're huge.
I don't know.
They're everywhere in America.
Oh yeah, they're
massive.
everywhere.
They're massive. They're massive. They're massive.
Walgreens and CVS are everywhere.
Yeah. Coyote says, my girlfriend walked in my office and said, what stinks in here? I told her those are my buyback bids, but also the cat threw up in the corner. Bah.
Furball.
The fur balls are coming
Furball.
out. Michael Downs, number 176. Good morning, Jen from Larry Titus.
Good morning,
Do we think SoFi will be below $6 at the close tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know. I don't
That's
know.
another one. I just have to.
612 on the stock, down 4 cents, 611. Look at GameStop. Well, 126.56. Something tells me Cynthia is getting her
$4.
calls back.
There you
Something
go.
tells me a bunch of you guys are stink bidding calls
No,
and they're
what did
coming
it
your
open
way.
at? 130.
130 something,
Yeah.
131. Yeah. GameStop was 132 today for the high.
Yeah.
It's right now the low today 126.41. It's 126.56. We're right there.
Jump on the train.
Rob, Uncle Bruce and Auntie Jen role playing. Uncle Bruce takes out his big black calculator and Jen swoons. Excuse me while I rip this out.
You have such a big calculator.
Look at that calculator. Look at those big buttons you
I'll
have.
call you Cal for short.
Cal. Yeah, I knew how to wow them back in 1980. Back in the day, I knew what they wanted to see.
No, it was old hat by the time you got your calculator.
Yeah, they wanted to see the man with the big calculator. Let me show you the kind of money I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make big money.
Mine had.
Yeah, these guys with these little calculators, they're gonna make little money. I'm making big money. Look at this kind of money.
I'm thinking that would have been like grade 10.
For what, a calculator?
Yeah, that he had his calculator.
Oh man. Oh, I don't
Do you
know.
think 11, 10, 11?
I don't know if he would have had something like that in the mid 70s, but maybe
It was in high school.
it was before me, before you knew me, and that was 76.
It was in high school.
So it had to have been 74. Yeah.
No.
Wow.
72.
Oh, John Anderson's good morning, Jen.
John.
Beach Boy, Uncle Bruce, I'm thinking about dedicating $20 of that cash coming back from the other platform, the gains, into ATIP. Your thoughts, Zen Master, please. You can pick off all the ATIP you want. I think you guys are going to make money down here when you're buying it at all-time lows.
You got to buy it and put it away.
I think we got us a little winner here. Vilbus, just got my GameStop 133 back. Time to write again. Should I buy a Snickers bar or should I buy one share of ATIP? Well, if you buy a Snickers bar, you'll eat it and you'll poop it out. If you buy a share of ATIP and it goes to 10, you can buy a Snickers bar, poop it out, and keep the change. Thank you very much.
Because of their marketing people, we know that if you buy a Snickers bar, you won't be hangry.
There you go. Nick, how many know slide rules? Remember the slide rules for calculators? I used them in the 80s.
I used slide rules.
They used them to get Man on the Moon in 1969 and back.
So frightening.
I remember my calculator for college did graphs, and you could type in your study notes before tests. Oh, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Slide
and
rules.
Slide rules.
Boy, oh boy. I just had to take off the back and break the reset button. Not sure what that means. Let's see, 8.5% on a $40,000 home interest rates. Yeah, I remember seeing
18%.
rates. I remember when they broke 10, they went to 9.9. We went, oh my God, we haven't seen single digit mortgages in a decade. This is amazing. We never thought we'd see it again.
Yeah,
then it broke 9%. We couldn't believe it. And mortgages at 9%, 8.5%. Couldn't believe
we were
it.
just shaking our heads thinking, people, what are you doing?
You got to be crazy borrowing money at this price. You got to be nuts. Why don't you just rent? Wow. Yeah. Chase laughing out loud.
Make something.
Chase is going laughing out loud at 8.5%.
Yeah.
Alberto, ATIP moving slowly but moving. Let's hope it moves to the moon. Michael, it hit 162. I got 161.5 right now again. Here we go. Bobby, 10% increase. Does a scraper program see that for big buyers? I don't know what that means. Good morning, Uncle from Alberto. Good morning, Tia. And the new 20 ATIP are already in the green. My new 20 are already in the green. Normally it takes a day or two until they're green. It's a splitter. Huh?
What was nephew? I did it again. Was it Dubrino?
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Michael Downs, ATIP always moves slow. This is actually pretty good movement for the stock. 161 up 14. Steven, anyone hear about Tesla? Possible split 20-1. Haven't heard a word about anything like that. John, Bobby, I would assume that they will have a minimum share price filter as well as a percentage filter. Coyote, you have to laugh through the abuse, through the tears. Alberto, Steven, I wish. Austin, this morning's stock purchase is the only stock in the green in my entire portfolio. And it's ATIP. Hell hath done frozen over.
Maybe you're the Johnny Depp of YouTube.
There you go. Maybe I'm the Johnny Depp of YouTube. Meet Kevin said something about it. ATIP 1,000 shares, 160 purchase, says Zed Estate. Way to go, buddy. Duncan HP has a good IQ. Nick, doesn't she have to sign a non-compete agreement when she resigns CVS?
Yes.
Who possibly? I mean, who knows? I don't know. Nick, I'm not reading anything negative into this. Nothing negative as far as I'm concerned for ATIP. This is huge. It's 162.5 right now. It's going up again.
Physical therapy places aren't competing with CVS.
Well, there's that. Just picked up 500 shares of ATIP, says Wooly. Bobby, she probably suggested health food in vending machines at the office. Michael, Steve, Jack, I heard that too. Not how sure true that is. Talking about Tesla split. John, you only have to sign a non-compete if both parties benefit. She cannot be forced to sign one. Nelson, good morning, Bagel family. Welcome all. Friends, FL, you got me picked up $1,000 of this stuff. Nicholas, okay. I got 100 more at 161. If I had more powder, I'd get more. Nelson, ATIP CEO, what lovely acronyms. Michael, ATIP volume is double what it normally is at this time of the day. Aaron, damn, just bought another 500 shares of ATIP. Duncan, so fly, looking good. Swiss Butter, CVS market cap of $133 billion. That is the size of CVS. Why would someone leave a position making probably $250,000 a year, maybe more, and become CEO of ATIP?
Is CVS public?
Yes, I believe it is. $1.63.5, up 16.5 cents on ATIP on 400,000 volume. Here we go. GameStop 126 down 341. There we go. What a morning. Robert Benson, I'm number 182. Nelson, I'm 180 thumbs ups right now. Vilbus, I've added a 500 ATIP today. Average is down to 420. Swiss Butter, just got X-rated. The Bama Babe is laughing. Coyote, make sure you use your pocket protector. Yes. Wooly, by X you mean multiplication? DQ 1980 calculators and cocaine. Splair, for real, those big bottoms, Uncle Bruce, you and Jen are great. Bobby is laughing. Austin, my calculator spits out tape. Nelson, now Jen is really pushing Bruce's buttons. Gregory is laughing. H. Gregory, don't give me nightmares, says Duncan, saving some powder for later now. Michael, DQ, the good old days, shades. Jennifer's just, she doesn't know what to do. Christina, GameStop is at 126. That's right, Christina. You're going to buy those calls back for a fraction of that price. Alberto, youth accounts can be split up. I just set up 4 accounts, one each for my grandkids. Transferred 7,000 shares of SoFi to each one. Oldest grandson, 13. Can't touch the account for 5 years. They will be set. There you are. Really beautiful nice, job.
Very nice idea.
Christina, my 4 stink bids just filled on my GameStop calls. I got them back. Way to go, Christina. Awesome. Chase, my first calculator, I bought it in 1975. Oh. Alberto, Duncan, laugh out loud. I hope this sets him up with college.
And you could have calculators that you could put paper onto if you needed the paper to prove your addition.
It's true. Christina, I made $130 per contract. Now to sit back and see what the market will do. Nice job, Christina. 4 times. Nice. New viewers could be ahead due to ATI on eToro, says Splair. Duncan, slow and steady. Let's see. Not your daddy's doobie says, damn it, another 1,000 ATIP. Rob, maybe CVS will buy ATIP. 162.5 right now, and Nelson says Zed Estate says I'm up 2 cents. Let's go. That has to be earned, Nelson, says Adventure with Duncan. Splair, I bet at the end of the day, ATIP will be a market mover, some kind of like with Meta. Let's see. Nelson, I might be a little heavy to sit in your lap, but I give good hugs. Alberto, Adventures with Duncan, true story. Time to start loading up on ATP while it's under $2. Let's go. Jen laughed a little too hard at that cocaine reference, says Rob. Beach Boy got 5,000 ATIP. Zat 165. Thank you, Jen and Cal. Okay, you're good. What else are we at here?
Cal. I'm going to start calling you Cal for calculator.
Calculator, that's right, Cal. Coyote, I wish my grandpa gave me 7,000 SoFi shares instead of just drinking problems.
Instead of that creepy feeling ever makes me.
All he did is make me feel yucky all the time. Why was that? Oh, goodness gracious. Way to go, Christina, says Bama, babe.
You're not supposed to laugh about it.
Rob Alberto, gracias, abuelo. Christina M.E., looking great on your day off. Oh my gosh, everyone's having fun here. What can I say? We got stuff going on. ATIP 161.9, up 14.9 cents. ATIP volume now 511,000 as viewers of Stock Markets with Bruce take over the company. As we're buying it, we're up 80 points on the Dow. We're up 21 on S&P and 67 on NASDAQ. GameStop 124.57, a little lower now, 527 lower. It brings a lot of your options back right into play. Way to go. DH Ruda, oops, the dog just nosed my phone. Looks like I bought 500 ATIP at 161 right there. We got Carvana down 625 to 59.49. Down it goes. Twitter 48.19 off 45 cents. Cyxtera's up 2. Rocket Lab down 19 to 713. SoFi down a nickel to 610. GameStop down 562 to 124.22. AMC down 92 cents to 14.93. Matterport off 4 cents to 5.51. ME off 11 to 2.91. Spire off 7 cents, 1.59 a share. The Hycroft Mining down 6 to $1.40. That is backing off. ATIP 160.61 right now, 13.5-cent gain. Smart Rent 4.97 down 5. Pfizer up a penny. Hewlett Packard up 25 cents. Robinhood up a nickel. Vanik up 3.32. Home Depot up 4.09. IBM up 51 cents. Microsoft up 86 cents after a big day yesterday at 2.84, but it did hit 2.91 yesterday. Apple 159.74 up 3.17. Earnings come out tonight. Goldman up 44 cents. Cisco up 40. Facebook up 21.90 to 196.85. It's backing off from its high. It got to 208. Now it's at 196. We're not going anywhere on the Facebook. Amazon up 59. Tesla down $50 to $830 a share. Getting hammered. I said 750 to 800, didn't I? And look at this. Google 23.28 up $28. Bed Bath & Beyond down 71. BlackBerry up a penny. Royal Caribbean down 65 cents to 78.95. Target 92-cent gain. JP Morgan up a quarter. Costco down $5. Walmart up 58 cents. Nvidia up 260. American Airlines down 22 cents to 18.76. That rally is over. It got into the 21-22 level. It's over. We're back to drudgery. Netflix 187 down 132. We're going down to 150 a share. Moderna $3.50 lower to 138. Unbelievably cheap is what we got. The Dow's up only 42. S&P up 16. Nasdaq up 48. Oil down 20 cents. That's where we're at right here, right now, live on these markets as we are watching things happening out there. Our friends at ATIP are the star of the show today, it would appear. 161 a share, roughly 161 and a half, on up 14 odd cents a share. A new CEO has been hired away from CVS. And this is going to reverberate out there. Count on it. It's going to reverberate. It's going to happen. Let's see what happens. Someone might need to help her. The market seems to be producing positive vibes today. Let's see. Sean, that's funny. Don't talk about your grandpa laughing out loud. Let's go. Austin, I have to see my wife's grandpa tonight. She's the mouth kisser with a fuzzy lip. I might call it sick. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, yuck. Oh, I'm not coming. I can't make it. Sorry. Don't bring her to show and tells. I'm telling you right now, if we're ever going to do a show and tell, don't you dare bring her to a show and tell to meet me. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh, my mail lady is late delivering my mail. Oh my gosh. Coyote, they're laughing. John Spire has taken over the basement position now. Austin, grow your mustache out and outdo her kiss. Oh man, oh man. Oh, John's laughing. Oh no, careful not to cross the hairs. Lean in, make it worse for her. Duncan, well, once she's gone, you got something to remember. Hand on the small of the back. Oh, and maintain eye contact. Laugh later. Oh, you will be there one day, says Duncan. You'll be there one day. Oh no, no, no. Oh my goodness. Oh, scary stuff. 160 on ATIP. A limited time offer to get this stuff before the street figures it out. It's hit 164 already. It's now at 160, up 13 cents on 602,000 shares. Oh my goodness. Well, we just had a one-liner come through here.
I heard you in here. Did you hear my alarm going off?
I did.
My laundry was done.
Austin says, I have to see my wife's grandma tonight. She's the mouth kisser with a fuzzy lip. I might call in sick.
What was that Jim Carrey movie? Where he had an older lady next door who had the hots for him.
I don't remember. Oh, no, no, no. Please, no. DQ says to Rob, hey, wow, I missed you. What are you doing later? Oh, no, no. Rob says, mentions Duncan. Did he say his wife's grandma? Let's hope the genetics didn't trickle down, or he'll be in for years and years of fuzzy lip kisses from his wife.
All you can do is throw a mustache and fight back.
DQ is saying, a la Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. Oh, God. Oh, no. Sean and Wendy, Uncle Bruce, last night on CNBC, they were talking about options covered calls. The guest person said, now is the time to have 100 shares to start doing this. You told us about this a year and a half ago. Duh. Yes. Oh, what do you think that person watches me and doesn't say anything? Yeah.
He's a lurker.
He's a lurker, and then he goes on CNBC and gets all the glory. There you go. Oh no, Coyote, keep your eyes wide open during the kiss. Rob, poor Austin. Oh no. Maybe I should do a show tonight that you have to stay home and watch the show. You can't go. Oh no. You send me a big fat donation. I'll do a show just for you. This is when you'd buy a one-on-one with me. You say, no, I'm sorry. I have a one-on-one with Uncle Bruce. I can't come over tonight. I'm sorry. That $400 you're spending for an hour with me is worth every penny, more ways than one.
Grandma will think she's losing it. Uncle Bruce. You have an Uncle Bruce.
Yeah, but Uncle Bruce. Rob, let's hope your wife doesn't watch this show. Duncan, eyes wide shut. Oh, Credit Savage. You guys are peer pressuring me so much right now. Fine, I'll start a position on ATIP. Here's 100 shares, average 159. I'm telling my mom, y'all are bullies. Right. They made me buy it. They made me do it.
FOMO.
Oh, DQ. Mustaches do skip a generation. Duncan says, and think of Jennifer Aniston when you're kissing her. There you go, John.
Yeah.
Or she has an infinity for waxing. Oh no.
That's great.
Coyote Austin, tell your wife to skip today's show. Just skip today's show.
Why is Grandma's lip always so red?
Travis, always nice getting a kiss from a woman with more stubble than you. Laughing out loud. Christina, wow, it's still dropping on the GameStop. It is. GameStop now at 121.02, down 882.
Oh.
Down it goes. Bama, stop. My mouth is hurting from laughing. Please stop.
I wonder if it's being shorted.
Coyote, you guys are killing me this morning. Rob pushing 120 on the GameStop right now. 120.87 down 897. We've got ATIP 159.5.
What's the volume?
Volume on GameStop is 300,000 shares. Nothing burger. Hi, Auntie Jen. So glad you're laughing. Your laughs light up the room. Enjoy the UK. Credit Savage. Hey, bro, from now on, just call her Fuzzy. Forever henceforth will know her as such. Say hi to Fuzzy for me. Coyote SoFi 609 hit
Not
on
literally.
SoFi. Yeah, not literally. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. The Dow's down 20 points negative. S&P is only up 8. NASDAQ is up 8. We're backing off big time from that jump this morning. The pre-market looks so good, and now it's all
the
gone.
internationals look good. Yeah.
It's all gone. Oh, boy.
He's been laughing too. You made him cry. Tears of joy.
I'm having too much fun here. Way too much fun. Low of the day on GameStop. 120, what is it? 120.76? 120.76 is the low. 121.10 right now. Not much of a recovery here at the moment. Wow. Rob, notice how Austin hasn't said anything. I think he closed the stream because his wife walked in.
I don't know. I just can't pick up the chat today.
Nelson, Rob, turn your head at the last second and take the wet willy. Oh no! If your wife doesn't believe you that she's trying to tongue you, then that's exactly what you do. You take the
DNA of my
take
ear.
the hard right hand turn, let her lick your ear, take your wife's finger, put it in your ear, and say, "You see, I told you she's trying to tongue me every time. I told you. How's your finger now? Oh no!"
Make her share in the love.
Credit Savage, my wife is saying you guys are mean. Oh boy. Thursday primetime show to save Austin called Lip Service with Uncle Bruce.
Lip service.
It's all in good fun, DQ. Wife, please just enjoy, please. Oh, DQ, that Bama babe is laughing. Moonimo, 198 on the thumbs ups. I should have held off buying back my GameStop covered calls. Dang, says Vilbus. Oh, man. My profit is a profit.
With that number.
Profit is a profit. Yep. That's it. Bunch of bullies, says FL. You're a bunch of bullies. ATP 157. Is this the dip? 157. Your last chance to buy this before it takes off. The Stock Markets with Bruce channel is taking over ATIP with an unofficial takeover offer. We're just buying up every share they got. We're buying them all. We're taking it over. We're going to run this company. We're going to help that lady at CVS run this thing to $50 a share. We're going to take them out. Don't think of shorting this stock. You're going to get it. Rob, the Credit Savage house husband, tell her to go to work. This is your work colleague, not hers. These are your work colleagues. Oh, my gosh. You know, that lady at CVS, you're welcome.
That's right.
We're your fans. We have no idea who you really are in person. We don't know you personally, but we like the idea that you have an opportunity here to really make great things happen. And it's about time. Way to go, board of directors. Way to go, whoever is in charge of getting her that gig. Well done. We're just going to take over the company. We're going to buy up millions of shares on this channel, become the biggest block of free trading holders of stock, and no one can mess with us. How about that?
Shareholder meeting. Oh, no.
Walk in there. We got the votes.
We
got the votes. Don't mess with us, baby. Coyote, Austin is kissing a peach right now for practice. John is laughing. Rob, Coyote's on fire today. Alberto's laughing. Oh, everyone is off the chair here. Oh, man. Rob Coyote, if it's bad, he might have to use a pineapple instead of a peach. Alberto Coyote, he's killing me. Michael, Zed Estate BC, bye for the love of God. Bye, man. Bye. Yes, he is. He's killing it, says John. Best chat in a long time. There are 275 measly people watching this show. There's nobody here. There are hundreds of thousands of them out there missing the fun because they're looking for the mother of all short squeeze trades. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. ATIP 157 up a dime. It's on sale still. Get your shares now before they go away on you. Oh my gosh. Duncan, guys, I'm now watching what you're writing. Can't wait to see it. Not your daddy's doobie. I got tears going. Coyote, hey man, any port in a storm, am I right? Christina, is this what I miss when I go to work? I can't watch the show. Man, this is great. Yeah, I don't know why you folks have day jobs. There's way too much fun here. I just spit up my coffee through my damn nose. Damn you, Coyote. Damn you. Hopefully Austin has a safe word, says John. Oh, I know. It can be peaches. Peaches.
Honey, peaches.
The lone call I have left that I purchased is an ATIP January 24, 250. Let's go. Yeah, baby. Upside potential at the grocery stores on the weekend. DQ. Okay, how do we send Coyote a donation? Jennifer, is this what ATIP announcing a CEO does? The chat goes full on goofy. Unbelievable. Sean and Wendy laugh a lot. I've been trying to eat my breakfast for 30 minutes. My eggs are cold now from all the laughing. Coyote. Alberto Alves, no, I haven't laughed like this in a while. Not a long time. Yippee-ki-yay. Wait, what did I miss? There was a fly in my coffee, says Duncan.
Now it's living in his nose.
Oh, no. Oh, we're trying. Yeah, Coyote, in honor of Austin, here's $10 in honor of Austin. Thank you. John, man, I need a laugh like this. Thanks, Coyote. Duncan says, yuck. Just my luck. There's a fly in my coffee. Oh, my God.
We need to buy him the fake glasses with the mustache on them so she won't recognize him.
I think what Austin has to do is wear one of those plexiglass masks and say, the doctor is making me wear this. That way she can't lift it up and get in there. You know, keep that plexiglass mask.
It's the 6-way.
Walk into with a hazmat suit on, full body, you know, in there. You can't do anything.
If she can't get the kiss, nobody knows where she's going. Where do you go from there?
Do the
hands start grabbing Grandpa?
Get the sound effect on your phone that Darth Vader. Can't kiss you, Grandma. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Oh, my gosh.
What are we going to feed you? You probably don't even want it. You've been laughing
Oh, my God. That was so much fun. What to have today?
What time is it?
I don't even know. I'm too busy working. 8:43 here, 10:43 Eastern. We have 49 minutes to go in the show, which is incredible. It's just flying by here today. Maybe the old cheese whiz. Well, maybe we'll just do the really nicely toasted cheese whiz.
Cheese whiz.
And play that game. I can't breathe. I gotta breathe. So much fun.
To watch.
Do we do?
Canada against Finland.
Oh my God, Canada against Finland. There, you never a dull moment there. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much. It had a lid on it, says Duncan, and I still had a fly in there. Oh, Coyote, this Austin safe word will be tippy toe. Austin, she is old, but she is smart. She knows what she is doing. I know she sees the fear in my eyes. She's rich though, so I have to let it play out. Short-term pain, long-term gain, you know? Oh, no. What's cooking, Wendy? Godzilla costume. You can wear one of those. Coyote, Sean, and Wendy. Lab and DQ, where are you going, Austin? We're going to see old Velcro lip right now. I'm listening. Shaz, I'm listening to from half an hour ago at 1.5 speed and reading this chat. I can't wait for Uncle Bruce to catch up. Austin going to kiss Yoda later. Oh, no. Bruce going to be spreading the cheese. Michael. Austin, you got to go all in now. Coyote, she's rich though. She's rich. Oh my god. Oh gosh. 158 on the ATIP, up 11 cents. The Dow is up 7 points. Only up 7 points. We're up 11 on S&P. Nasdaq up 21. We've come back a long way. Oh my god. 121.45 on the GameStop right now, down 8.39. We backed off all the way down there too. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. When she goes, Rob, you buy one ATIP for each hair on her lip. H. Gregory, I got to scroll up. I missed these jokes. Rob, in honor of her, laughing out loud, Rob from Coyote, Duncan, money, baby. It's all about the money. Oh. Carvana 59.75 down 5.99. Twitter down 46 cents to 48.18. Cyxtera down a dime. Rocket Lab down 22 to 7.10. SoFi down 6 to 6.09. GameStop 8.30 down 8.69 to 121.15. The low of the day on GameStop 120.76, and we're not far away from that. AMC down 89 to 14.96. Matterport down 7 to 5.48. ME 292 down 9.5. Spire down 9 cents to 157. Hycroft down 3.5 to 142. Smart Rent down 4.5 to 497. Pfizer up 8, and Hewlett Packard up 36. Robinhood 945 down 6 cents. Backing up again. We're up 11.5 on ATIP at 158.5. A new CEO has been hired by the company after a search started last August. Oh my God. I hope that's the end of these slow hires. Get with the program, you guys, and let's go, please. Oh, my goodness. Good. What can I say? Thank you, everybody. Michael, I got to clean up, spit out my beer, but she's rich, though. Oh, my God, this chat today. Duncan, already in the hair lipstick money. Duncan, I really wish I was there for this visit. Oh my gosh, don't bring her to a meet and greet. I'm begging you, please don't do this to me. 160 now on ATIP. Coming up again, 13-cent gain. Volume on ATIP, 773,000 shares. A positive reaction to a new CEO hired at ATIP. Oh my gosh. Coyote, the search did take a while, but hopefully that is the exact candidate they wanted. Perhaps it was worth the wait. A DQ Adventures with Duncan, you'd get a kiss too. Then Swiss Butter, I'm glad ATIP waited for Betty. The correct move. Duncan will speak. I will speak with her. Oh man. Dow is up 23 points, trying to hang on. We're up 13 on S&P. We're up 28 on NASDAQ. Oil is up $1.50 to 103.60 right now. GameStop is under pressure. 121.88 down 7.95. A lot of you written options got to be happy with how they're going for you. Definitely. Anyway, Rob is saying, yeah, that was a long stretch for CEO. However, I do like their pick. There we are. We'll see how this all plays itself out going forward. Carvana, $59. Low of the day on this thing, 58.27. What a day. Really getting crushed right now. Just getting crushed. Amazing. ATIP 159.5 up 12.5 cents. Rob, be careful there, Duncan. You might be liking that kiss there. Coyote Bear Nation is what we were watching here. We have the Dow up 15, still coming down, and S&P 13 and NASDAQ 30 right at the moment. Oh, man. What a day. Welcome welcome all to the show. It's Thursday, April 28th. We've got 213 thumbs ups going. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. Hope you're enjoying the show today as we are trying to stay on top of this market and just see what is going on here. Tons of things happening all at the same time. No lack of activity. Where else are we at here? Thank you all for popping in today. Nice to see you here. Let's move on over there. Move on over there. I'm just watching all kinds of other stuff simultaneously here as best I can. There we go. Yeah, let's hope this ATIP gets some coverage with this move, and then we'll see how it kind of goes from here. It will be interesting to watch. Just double check this announcement here if I can get any more info. Alrighty, yeah. So we've got the official press release from ATIP. It says here, ATIP, the largest single branded outpatient physical therapy provider in the United States, today announced the appointment of Sharon Vitti as CEO. Vitti will lead ATI in executing its vision of providing access to the highest quality musculoskeletal care and patient experience while driving creative revenue models, including the adoption of value-based care and B2B offerings in physical therapy. Oh, I like the sound of this. Vitti, 57, I thought she's 51, 57, has 30 years of healthcare experience, including nearly 2 decades of executive leadership at industry-leading clinical and consumer-focused healthcare companies. She joins ATI after serving as president of Minute Clinic, the national walk-in medical clinic that provides family care by nurse practitioners and physician assistants, and senior vice president at CVS Health, the parent company of Minute Clinic. During her tenure, she led all aspects of the care delivery, business operations, and strategic development. Prior to Vitti's tenure at CVS Health and Minute Clinic, she served as executive leadership at Brigham and Women's Hospital, including 9 years as senior vice president of clinical services for ambulatory and women's health. Vitti received a Bachelor of Science degree from Clark University and a Master of Public Administration from New York University. Over the last several months, our board conducted an extensive search for the right CEO candidate to lead ATI in delivering the outstanding patient care we are known for, said Jack Larson, ATI chairman. With Sharon's exceptional record of leading and innovating programs in a large multi-location business, we are confident that she is the ideal person for this role. She has the expertise to lead ATI in serving a growing range of patients and customers across all our lines of business, and to do it in a way that supports and empowers our team to deliver their highest quality of patient care. After many conversations, I know her Minute Clinic experience will fit seamlessly with the work of our clinicians and supporting the quality care they deliver. Vitti is stepping into the role at what she says is a pivotal time in healthcare. She is one of the few female executives to lead a major national physical therapy company in the field of some 60 to 70% of clinicians are women. I'm honored to have been selected. Thank you, Jen. I'm honored to have been selected, and I'm ready to lead a company that is dedicated first and foremost to its patients and its people, which puts us on the right side of healthcare. ATI is an established and highly innovative company that thrives on improving the health and daily lives of our patients, which will be even more vital in the months and years ahead, Vitti said. We have the team, the vision, and the plan to deliver both outstanding patient outcomes and successful business results. I look forward to working with our dedicated clinical team, support staff, and ATI management to accomplish new milestones ahead. There is the story. Let's see how this all plays itself out. The market likes it so far. Even though we are dominating trading as we take over the company, it's at 159 now, up 12 cents. The volume on the day on ATI, 857,000 shares on the day. The low of the day, 154, high of 164, last 159 on 857,000, and the volume is increasing on the stock. Well done. I like this a lot. I like what I hear and read and see. Hopefully you will too, and we'll see what's going on. Man, oh man, oh man. Let's see what's going on here. Let's go. Is anyone picking up actual GameStop shares on this dip? 121.54 on GameStop, down 830 today. Volume on GameStop now, 622,000 shares. That's all that is trading at this moment. Dow Jones up 7.9 points. Carvana down 609 to 59.65. Twitter off 33 cents to 48.31. Over on the S&P, we're up 12. NASDAQ up 29. Oil up $1.63. Thumbs ups from Duncan. Thank you, buddy. Splair. Just kidding, but for real, I wait since at least 5 years from now for a new Grand Theft Auto, and I played GTA 5 3 days earlier than the German release of 2014. So I am. What is it? I'm teaching impatience. I'm impatient already. Let's see. What else? Coyote. I have been to a Minute Clinic in college when I was very poor. A little background: my parents never took me to doctors growing up, so I was a bit nervous and unsure. But I thought they were nice and helped me when I didn't have a lot of money for help. Always stuck with me. Very interesting. Doctors were kind. Called to check on me several times after. Right on. Michael, my inhaler ran out once, so I went there. They were very nice also. Duncan, Spire, ready to buy. Yippee-ki-yay, she sounds like one of those groundbreakers. Great news, ATIP. Right on. That's what we're looking for. We want the right person at the right time in this entity, and let's see what it brings us. ATIP 158 up 11 cents so far today. Right on. This could be very, very, very good for the company. Very, very good. I like the idea that there's even more planned than just the physical therapy end of it. I like that a lot. I kind of get a good vibe out of that call. That little one-liner. Cheers, everybody. I got some cheese whiz on a bagel today. I finally get to eat. Good old cheese whiz. Canadian version. Oh, yeah. We'll enjoy that. Christina, I think, Uncle Bruce, I think you missed the story the other day that I told. My 2-year-old had surgery last week. He got tubes in his ears. The nurse's name was Bruce. My son kept calling him Uncle Bruce. Isn't that awesome? That is beautiful. Nelson Coyote been sadly selling positions to cover as the market's bleeding constantly lately. It's a good lesson to be careful with buying on margin. I'll be fine, thanks. But Splair, okay, never mind. Read the complete text. Frumbler, I put 50 grand in my trading account. Why is it 23 grand today? That's the wrong direction. Larry, bagel. Christina, the nurse didn't know that you're Uncle Bruce. He just thought that my son really liked them. I'll allow it. There you go. Michael, she seems to be good at finding new ways for a company to make money. Got her side hustle on. Right on. Clay, not to belittle your story and experience, Coyote, Minute Clinic doesn't employ doctors. They have nurse practitioners, basically a nurse who can write prescriptions. It's good for colds, not healthcare. Let's see here. Jen, keeping Uncle Bruce hungry and lean. Coyote, Splair, well, the Minute Clinic wasn't owned by them then, but I thought they were well ran, and they opened their location in the neighborhood that didn't have a lot of access to doctors, and it helped. Coyote, a lot of people in the neighborhood at the time. Options, Nomads. Uncle Bruce, thanks for the reminder this morning about getting a good accountant. It was like you were talking directly to us. We are working on getting it done. Right on, guys. Right on. Cheers, everybody. Headline from Barron's: Stanley Black & Decker falls on weak outlook. Latest victim of inflation, it says. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show today. Hope you're having a good day today. 158.5 on HIP, up 11.5. Dow up 73. Mr. T, I made a mistake today. I bought back my GameStop cover calls. Well, just wait for a recovery and write again. It's all good. Olivia, you missed a lot of laughs earlier today. Nelson, Uncle B, when do we think ATIP will delist now that we have good news? Asking for a friend. Oh, wait, I did not using CVS, how they treated my disabled adult stepdaughter. Coyote, profit is profit. Don't let that worry you. Exactly. Don't worry about profit. Making money is making money. Tesla 838, down 43 bucks. Amazon up 70, Google up 38. Meta platform, Facebook up 20 to 195. Apple at 160, up 4 bucks. Microsoft down 62 cents to 282. The run might be over for a while there. Interesting. Robinhood 946 down a nickel. I think earnings come out tonight. 158.5 on ATIP, up 11.5. Laughing out loud. I will rewatch, says Olivia. Splair. Okay, I think I know what you mean. We have something familiar here when you have a house full of doctors where it is easier to get a visit of a doctor. Richards with Duncan. Also, they never had my script, never ready for me due to not having insurance. Let's go. All right, continuing on. Welcome one, welcome all to the show this morning. We're up 55 on the Dow right now. I read this morning something about 28,000 student loans might be wiped out, forgiven by Biden, having to do with the defunct colleges that just were decertified and students left holding the bag. Up to 28,000 people's loans might be wiped out as early as today. We'll see if that comes through. There's talk that the eligibility to enter Medicare or Medicaid might be dropped for people 60 to 64 instead of 65 and older. There's talk going on about that. That would be huge. Absolutely huge. That would be absolutely massive. 23 million people would be affected. That would be a huge positive move. That would be really something. Wow, that would be amazing if that could be pulled off. Anyway, there you go. What else is going on here? Mr. T, today and now it's run down $8. May fall even further. Should I just wait for a bounce or sell now? Yeah, I'd wait. Wait for the pop, for a little recovery bounce, and then look to right again. You'll be fine. Let's go. Let's see what else is on. There's what's going on here. What's going on? A lot of people talking about Medicare and stuff. John Anderson, Bruce, I sold to open a Goldman Sachs 340 May 27th for 386. It's down over $1. Should I wait or buy it back? Or for Goldman Sachs to go up? Thank you very much. So you sold a 340 Goldman Sachs contract, and the stock right now is sitting at 314 a share. I mean, if down $1 is nice, but it can go even obviously lower. It's a question of how long it has to live. Do you want to wait that long? I don't know how long you have to wait for this. I don't know when it expires. Sorry, May 27th. Pardon me. What you could do is you could buy this one back and write maybe a May 20 or a May 13 330. Maybe you could do one of those. Grab this one and write one of those. get closer into the expiry, a little closer to the action, but that's up to you. But that might be something to think about right there. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just watching too much stuff at the same time here. Here we go. The Dow now up 87 points, trying to keep on the positive side of the ledger. ATIP 157.5, $1.57.5, up 10.5 cents right now. Okay. Carvana 58.88. Wow. Just wow. How many margin calls went out because of Carvana, because of the drop? How many? Man. Twitter down 20. 48.44. SoFi down a nickel. GameStop 122.03. A little better. Down 7.81. Oh, wow. Mm. Mm. Yes, the student loan waiver is true. Sean went to DeVry. The federal government sued them and won because they made promises to their students they did not keep. All his loans will be wiped out. Thank God. How about that? John Anderson, thanks, Uncle B. You got it, buddy. Way to go. Carvana is a dead man walking, says FL. Aaron, Uncle Bruce, I congratulated the new ATI CEO on LinkedIn and shouted out your channel saying we were very big supporters and to check out your show. There you go. Fantastic. Welcome, everyone from ATIP. We love you guys. We have been loyal shareholders from day one and are still following your stock, and we're buying it up today. We're picking it up down here. It is a bargain as far as we're concerned. We love the new hire. Now, if Sharon would like to make an appearance on this show, I would love to have her as a guest. Put her on the camera and talk to all of us. That would be terrific. There's a whole bunch of shareholders here that own ATIP. I'm happy to congratulate her and welcome her aboard. Absolutely. Well, that's true. First of all, Coyote is saying, Sean and Wendy, this is really good news for you guys. Coyote, the new ATIP CEO is going to watch today's show and hear all about Austin's mother-in-law, and she's going to be so confused. Rob, oh, great. Yeah. The CEO of ATIP is going to find out about this show and find out about Austin's fuzzy grandma-in-law. Oh, thanks, Aaron, for that. Rob Goody, maybe she has a mustache too. Maybe she'll feel represented and also see it's buying up the stock. Maybe this is a good thing. Oh no! Oh gosh! I don't know. GameStop 123.30, a little better. It's a little better for those of you who want to write options again. Get ready. Oh boy. I'll tell you something. The Medicare eligibility age drops to 60. ATIP, huge. That would be huge for ATIP. Physiotherapy would be covered by Medicare for 23 million more eligible patients. Huge for ATIP. Huge. I'll tell you. Mm. Mm. Oh, yeah. Mm. I'm almost done this bagel. I promise. I'm almost done. Mm. Boy, so good. So good. Thank you all for being here today. Yeah, you know, Sean and Wendy, many schools made these promises. Instead of suing them all, they will just erase some of the student loan debt. It will save them, the federal government, money, not suing them all individual. Mm-hmm. Coyote, that's a good point about ATIP and lowering the Medicaid age requirements from 65 to 60. That would be a massive boost for ATIP and anyone else in the medical providing business. You have to think about how many people of the 23 million eligible that would instantly become part of Medicaid. How many of the 23 million would require and would be eligible to receive wheelchairs, walking canes, medical devices at home for home care, improvement of life? How many would now receive medical care to extend their working careers, to keep working rather than being home in pain? ATIP, physical therapy services. How many of those will now become eligible for Medicare, Medicaid protection and coverage for that? And that would be huge. It would just add to ATIP's ability to grow up the company. Massive. I mean, permanent, massive changes. I know that when Hillary was trying to become president back when she was running against Trump, one of her platforms was to take Medicaid down to 55. She wanted 55 and older. Right now, Biden's trying to get it to 60. You got all these guys in Washington who are slaves to the corporate masters through the super PACs. Some super PACs might want this, some might not. I would think, though, that employers think about employers like Walmart and Amazon, just those two guys, just to think about these guys. But you can add McDonald's and Starbucks and Wendy's and Subway. You can add the entire restaurant business to this. But really, think about Amazon and Walmart, how many 60-year-olds and older they do employ that are not Medicaid. Over 65, you're covered, but 60, 64, you're not. How many of those people could now get treatment, care of Medicaid, and still keep working for the Amazons and the Walmart? This takes the pressure off of them to pay to subsidize these people's healthcare. All of a sudden, they're part of the system, and it's the big volume system. And if the Medicaid entity is allowed to negotiate medical deals, which is another major thing to pass through the House, that could be a big savings for those folks. For the United States of America, that would be a huge improvement in efficiency of the workforce. Massive. That might keep 15 million people working rather than out of the workforce. And right now, jobs are begging everywhere. This is good for the economy. Got to think about that. One never knows. Okay. What else is going on? Splair, by the way, Bruce, enjoyed that bagel. Coyote, there needs to be some form of regulation on college tuition prices, even with forgiveness. The underlying issue is still present, and Gen Z kids will have seen what happens to those before them. There you are. Chris Savage, hey, bro, in some cultures, a woman with a mustache is considered very lucky, you know. Have you tried buying some scratchers and have her scratch them? Maybe have her buy some lottery tickets. Yeah, maybe there's some potential there. Duncan makes me smart. What about chin hairs? Because I got them. Michael, I will be, it'll be big for me. I'm 60. If that goes through, I'm making an appointment at ATIP the next day. There are 2 locations near me. I could use physical therapy under Medicaid. Coyote, Michael, I hope this goes through for you and other Americans. This would be a positive improvement for so many. Michael says, thanks, bro. Duncan, MPT, any thoughts? No idea on MPT, what it is. We're at 156.5 on ATIP, up 9.5 cents. Volume now is 898,000, approaching 900,000 volume. The Dow is up 156, trying to do a little rally here, but nowhere near the opening highs. But it's up there. We're up 37 on S&P, NASDAQ up 136. Still trying the dead cat bounce, which might last all day, but it might waver as the day wears on. We'll watch for that. Carvana is still at 60.93, down 481. Twitter down 8 to 48.56. Cyxtera up 9 at 12.52. Rocket Lab down 22 to 7.10. SoFi at 6.14, just down a penny. SoFi low today 6.06, now 6.14, down 1 penny. GameStop back to 124.11 after hitting a low of 120.76 this morning. AMC 15.06, down 79 cents. Matterport up a penny. ME down a dime at 292. Spire down a dime to 156. Hycroft Mining unchanged. Smart Rent down 7 cents to 4.95. Pfizer 49.68, down 6. Hewlett Packard up 45 cents to 36.90. Robinhood down a penny, 9.50. Vanek Vectors up 6.22. Home Depot up 7.78 to 3.09. IBM up 52 cents. Microsoft up $1. Apple up 5.73 to 162.30. Earnings tonight, along with Amazon. Where are we at here? Goldman up 39 cents. Cisco up 45 cents. Facebook up $24 to 199. Amazon up 73 bucks. Earnings come out tonight. Tesla down 38 bucks to 843.57. Google up $45, 23.46. They lost 100 or so yesterday. Bed Bath Beyond down 65 cents. BlackBerry up 2. Royal Caribbean down 46. Centino's, JP Morgan up 41 cents. Target up 3.63. Costco down 2.36 a share. Walmart up 76 cents. Nvidia up 6.45. American Airlines down 9 cents to 18.88 again. Netflix up $1.60 to $190. Moderna down $3.64 a share. There's where we are with some of our stocks we watch the most. ATIP 156.5 plus 9.5 cents on the day. The Dow 139 to the good, but not near the 300 we started off with. But we'll see how it reacts as the day wears on. We'll be there to watch it. GameStop 124.14 down 570. Watching it closely. Okay, guys, thank you all for popping in here. Great to see you here. Let's see. Yeah, because it has it could help so many. It has a slim chance of happening. Remember, if 23 million Americans are being helped by this, think about who they are. The 23 million we're talking about are generally poorer people. They're not the well-to-do. They are those who are down and outers, those who are falling through the cracks of coverage in other areas. None of them appeal to the Republican Party. The Republican Party is looking at a kowtowing to well-to-do Americans, the corporate sector, this group here is not a Republican demographic. So there's going to be no Republican support for this because they can't lose any votes. They're going to call these people freeloaders. They're going to call them all kinds of words that aren't all that pleasant. Yet in your congregation, perhaps, in your church or your community or in your bingo hall or in your grocery store, in your neighborhood, your relatives, some of your friends, neighbors, parents of friends and neighbors, these are folks that were working for a living in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. They paid their taxes. They put out and did what they could. And now they're living on Social Security, and they're living on very little money from income because they got wiped out during the Great Recession in 2008, the big financial crisis, through no fault of their own. They are one of the 23 million. And the Republicans are not looking at them as a viable group to go after anymore. You got to wonder about that. If these folks can get on the Medicaid 4 years earlier than they would normally get on, be treated now in nearer the prime of their lives rather than 5 more years of suffering for a 60-year-old. This to me just sounds like a win. It's a country investing in its own people to make them healthier immediately rather than letting them suffer for between 1 and 5 more years before they get there. I just think it's a win. Again, it's just me. Call me socialist if you want, but boy, these are folks that can't afford any coverage whatsoever. They're making well under the poverty line. There's no way they qualify for any coverage, and they're left to walk into emergency rooms when they need help. And that's where America gets ripped off, because people who walk into an emergency room must be treated at top dollar, and American taxpayers are paying it. This would actually save America money. It would actually save America money, bringing them into the system where it's way lower cost than letting them walk into an emergency room at retail dollars for treatment. That's just a business decision from my end. I'm just looking at it from a business point of view. I don't know. We'll see what's going on here. What is happening? Austin, man alive. Spire, what is the problem? Rosie Posey got back my 2 GameStop January Leaps covered call for a $5,500 profit in 31 days. Trying to make back some dough that I lost back GameStop covered calls on last month's run-up. I'm 1/6 of the way there with this right. There is hope. Well done, Rosie Posey. Working it. Nice score from Not Your Daddy's Doobie. Bilbus, they are the folks that we'd rather load up with opioids instead of healthcare. That's right. They're the forgotten Americans. Living in the Deep South, you have no idea how many conservatives are against things like that, while also desperately needing it. So many I've known get no medical treatment, and some have died. I know, it is really sad. Very nice, Rosie, says Vilbus Agodi from Treatable Issues. Exactly, from Treatable Issues. The greatest country in the world with the greatest medical system out there that can handle so many problems. And this massive amount of people from 50 and up are just abandoned and left to die and left to suffer needlessly. These people could be very productive in the economy of the United States if allowed to be treated and brought back. It would be a great boost for the economy if a certain percentage of those people are working again, paying income taxes again, buying cars, buying homes, renting their own place. So able to support their own families. Absolutely. It's a win-win. I don't know. I don't understand it. Here it is. It's time to deprogram Americans from hating what's good for us. It's easier said than done, isn't it? It really is. It's really, really difficult. It's amazing to me how much energy certain people will put in place to ban books in schools as opposed to helping their fellow man get better and become productive in society. It's incredible to me. It's such a loss because the resources are there and the results are obvious with a healthy population. It's so obvious. But I don't know. What can I say? Coyote, to pay for the doctor, I remember my parents almost begging him to go. What are you going to do? Unreal. I knew a man who was my not blood uncle as a kid. He would watch over me and stuff, but he was a bit of a stereotypical Southerner and was poor. He got the common cold and died because he didn't want to pay for the doctor. I remember the parents almost begging him to go. And people are paying with their lives, and literally paying with their lives, not getting treatment for the simplest of things that are treatable with just a few pills for a week or two. It's a nothing burger, and yet human life is just it's just not valued. It's amazing. It really is amazing. Anyway, that's becoming a common story, says Olivia. Sadly, Austin, the American healthcare system would be better off if everyone lost 20 pounds. We're all super fat and go to your local Walmart. Yeah, I hear you there. It is really horrific, says Olivia. What's going on? Michael, Olivia, right? I cannot wrap my head around that either. Yeah, I hear you. It's, if you had a doctor that you could go to, a medical practitioner, those of us who are overweight would get help treating it. And that would also save lives and dollars, and would allocate dollars away from people needing care all the time to people needing stuff, which Americans are good at making, importing, and buying. That's what makes it work. 2/3 of the economy is consumers. Sheds Coyote, hearing stories like this breaks my heart, especially living in a country where healthcare is not pay per use. Olivia, to be fair, when I was in Europe, I could taste how much less crap there is in their food than the stuff in ours. Olivia, our food is not the same as the rest of the world. You are correct, Olivia. I lost weight in Europe and I ate more. There you go. Alberto, thank you for the donation on PayPal. Just seeing it come through. You are awesome, my friend. Vilbus, we'd also be better health if it were such a pain in the ass to see a doctor and get meaningful preventative care. Yeah, I agree. In Europe, an average European would be horrified to fully understand the level of care available for Americans from poor to well-to-do. They would be shocked at the difference. And they would immediately say that would never happen here because politicians would be voted out of office everywhere. I mean, this cannot stand. But the problem is when you're in the fire, you don't realize how good it is outside the fire anymore because you're just in it and you just consider it normal. And that's the sad thing about this. Coyote, I mentioned earlier that for over 20 years of my life, I never saw doctors or dentists or anything. But the sad thing is that all my poor friends were the same, never went. There's so many American kids going through this every day. And when you don't get treatment while young, it gets much worse as you grow up. And sometimes things may be too late to resolve. You couldn't have said that any better, Coyote. Truly true. Michael, sugar is the culprit. Austin, if you can't see your toes, you might want to invest in a treadmill. John, it's more about quality of food than quantity. Problem is much more expensive to eat clean food. I laugh when I hear the phrase, go see your doctor. Who are you talking to? See your doctor? There you go. And that was the 90s and 2000s New Orleans when I was suffering through this, says Coyote. Alberto, thanks to you. Another covered call filled. Profits keep coming in due to your advice. Thank you, man. I got that PayPal, and I thank you as always, so very much appreciate it. Another donation towards our European trip. Thank you. Where has Doc been lately? Adventures with Duncan wants to know. Olivia, dental care has been free for kids. I watched my neighborhood kids' teeth rot out. We were lucky because our dad worked at the hospital and had good insurance. Here in Canada, interestingly enough, we have a minority government, the Liberals, and they're being backed right now by the New Democrats, which are left of Democrats in the United States. They've teamed up to form an alliance to keep the government in control. But the deal that had to be made was that free dental care in Canada would now be available. It would start up. It's a 5-year program to implement the whole program. And it's billions a year to do it. But I think it's an absolute win of a program. Because if you can get people covered for dental care, they're going to start, by the way, with seniors and children. They're going to start with the very young and the very old and then come on into everybody else. Huge win. Huge win. And national dental program. Once those are enacted, you don't take them back. The public will never let those go. This could be a huge medical bill saver. It will actually save Canada money in the long run because you're keeping people healthier longer from having infections and all kinds of pain issues. So many people are on medication because of pain in their mouths. I know this personally. I got my teeth treated big time last September, before we went down south, Jennifer and I. The month of September, I was at the dentist twice a week for a month. And I got 5 years of medical work done in the span of 4 weeks. Cost me thousands of dollars to do it because it wasn't free at the time. But this is coming through now as a new program. I think it's absolutely fabulous. The next one they have to go with is eye care. That's the next one. They've got to make national eye care an absolute no-cost factor. The next one after that, hearing aids. Now, in Alberta, where I am, if you're a senior like me and you need hearing aids, you qualify for up to, I think it's a $3,000 allowable every 5 years for hearing aids. But the industry should be deregulated. That's what I think should happen. It should be allowed that not a small percentage of entities can distribute hearing aids. It should be opened up to the industry at large. And then you'll find the prices of hearing aids go from $4, $5, $6 down to $4.99 to $9.99. You'll find that the government could cover it all. Everyone would save billions of dollars in expenses, and working people from their 20s all the way to their 90s, and working, retired, you name it, would all have hearing coverage. That would be huge in this country. I am a big believer in that. Volume makes it work. Paying one-on-one, you are hosed everywhere you go. It's terrible. What else is going on? Thank you, guys. Alberto, I had a doctor say to me, we don't push vegan diets because we would be out of business. True story. I was shocked that he said this. Yeah, that's awesome, Uncle Bruce. America needs to take notes. There's more money in care than cure. Not your daddy, Doobie. Alberto, does that really shock you, though? Seems par for the course, doesn't it? Yeah, unbelievable. Coyote, Alberto, the animal AG industry is massive. Look at how they started pushing milk in the 50s. They're up there with oil industry in terms of control power narratives. Let's go. Not your daddy, Alberto. It really did. Crazy that he would share that out loud. Healthcare needs to be available when you need it, not when you can afford it. Vilbus, Alberto, the reality is they don't push vegan diets because maybe 0.05% of the patients would even entertain the idea. Let's see. What else is happening? The eye doctor was the only doctor I saw as a kid, and it wasn't until I was 13 I was taken because the teachers noticed I could not see the board. I have really bad eyesight. I guess there's something to actually hearing it come from the horse's mouth, says Not Your Daddy's Doobie. Vilbus, I was always the weirdest teenager, young adult who told everyone to quit drinking milk because it's one big AG scam. Alberta, a true story. I went vegan about a month ago. Have a good break, all, says Splair. Duncan, volume on tweets are 16 million. Vilbus, Alberto, I don't quite have the backbone to go full vegan, but we eat lots of plant-based stuff. Not easy being green, not easy eating greens. Michael Downs, remember Oprah versus the beef industry? Duncan, Alberta, you got me. Coyote, yeah, people do not like being told to reduce meat intake. Oprah took the beef industry, they took them on. Oh, boy. And what's going on here? I would get straight up bullied if I promoted vegan. People love their meat. Switching from animal meat to bugs would kill the world food problems. Vilbus, yeah, I learned to quit focusing on a label or teetotaling and just making better choices as they arise. I went vegan, says Coyote, in 18. Girlfriend was vegetarian vegan since she was 10. Not the easiest in South Louisiana, but we get it done. Right on, guys. Guys, thank you all so much for a great show today. It was a lot of fun. We're at 156.7 on ATIP. ATIP, we're up 9.7 cents. The volume on ATIP physical therapy now is 916,000 shares. Welcome aboard, brand new CEO over there. Fantastic news. We're so happy to hear this. Well, Chris, I was looking like a sleeper this morning. I think I'll just start watching one of my new Uncle Bruce videos. Got 4 for the price of 3. What a deal. Shez, I was a vegan for a few years. I never really felt good until I still limit dairy as it makes my skin break out, but I get my meat from a local farm now where I know happy lives are had. I eat less too. Another great show today, says Not Your Daddy's Doobie. John, I can see my toes. It's time for a burrito. Coyote Olivia, this is awesome. I hope it works out for you. Vilbus, that's a good approach there, Shays. Alberto, all just try to plant base for 30 days. The health benefits are insane. Olivia's laughing. Duncan, what a laugh to speak about the other day. We're up 191 on the Dow. We're up 40 on S&P. NASDAQ up 120. Oil up $1.50. I'll be on this afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern for the final hour today. So we'll join you again. We're looking at Carvana at 60.81, down 493. Twitter is up 14 cents to 48.78. Sextera 1260 up 17, turned around. Rocket Lab still down 27. SoFi down just a nickel. GameStop 671 is the down dip at 123.12. Low is 120.76. AMC 1487 down 98 cents. Matterport up to 557. ME down 12. Spire down 9.5. Smart Rent down 2 pennies. Pfizer down a penny. Hewlett Packard up 56 cents. So join me today at 3 Eastern. We'll do the final hour together, see how this market works out. Hopefully you'll continue to make money on your options. I'm sure you will. And we'll have fun later today, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. We'll catch you this afternoon. Cred Savage, Uncle Bruce, I know you don't follow Roku, but based on what happened with Netflix, do you think the same awaits them? Thinking if I should sell my puts and take profit. I do not know. Don't follow them, so I can't tell you. But a profit is a profit is a profit, and that's it. And there you go. My sis went vegan, and her back issues, inflammations improved dramatically. That's a big reason why I want to explore it too. Says Olivia. John Anderson. Thanks, everybody. Olivia, adios, my friends. Thank you all for your participation and your kind words and for all the laughs today. It was pretty good. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you, like Alberto says, later this afternoon, guys. You guys take care. Thank you for everything, everybody. And we'll see you shortly. If you have to ask, take a profit, you should take profit. Take profit. Later all, says Coyote. Thanks, guys. We'll see you this afternoon. Bye for now.